Two guys, one day, one night, one afternoon, and one single podcast will go through somewhere between 10 and 15 murders. Nope. Okay, ready to go. Welcome to the Dylan and Joe Basement Podcast. We're your host. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Joe. And you know what that sound means? It's time for another edition of our favorite show.
And today's episode is called July's Finest Wheel. Joe, why is it called July's Finest Wheel? If there's any wheel in July that's as fine as it possibly can get, which is the word finest.
It's so
we've
fine.
Got it. It's on
mighty
this,
fine.
It's on this fucking show this time.
July's Finest Wheel. It's fine as wine, and I feel good. Da, 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 da. We're spinning the wheel again on DJPP.
We're spinning the wheel on the DJ BP. I feel like my numbers and letters are all off today too.
I'm Joe. This is Dylan. We're spinning the wheel again. Can you remind the folks of what that means?
What that means, imagine a world. Imagine a world. In a world with a wheel. In a world where you smoke 45 packs of cigarettes a day and you comment on movies and trailers. We have July's Finest Wheel. And on July's Finest Wheel, two guys, one day, one night, one afternoon, and one single podcast will go through somewhere between 10 and 15 murders. Nope. 10 and 15 random things on a wheel generated by the random topic generator.
Random topic generator.
The random topic generator is an AI-based algorithm. I use an algorithm to create topics that you can't possibly even think of. And that AI algorithm is DJ BB, our resident robot and owner and producer of the show. So what happens on July's Finest Wheel is we pretend it's Wheel of Fortune, which we're not. We're not claiming the Wheel of Fortune. This is not Wheel of Fortune.
No, that's not
this
us.
is July's Finest Wheel. So Joe, you ready to fucking rip this goddamn thing?
I sure am. We're gonna spin this wheel around and figure out what we can say about these topics that we haven't actually looked into at all. We just randomized them, and I'm ready to give it a spin, folks. I mean, if you liked our last time we did this, we did it way back at our 6th episode, a long time ago. And then we did it again pretty recently, and now we're doing it again. And it's like, get ready, because it's a basement podcast.
It's a basement podcast. And if
basement podcast.
Thank you very much, DJ BP / Stephen Hawking. If you're in the car, instead of honking if you're horny, give it a honk if you want to spin this fucking wheel. Give it a honk. Let them know. Let them know who's fucking boss. What podcast you listen to. 2 honks if you're feeling lucky. So we're gonna share our screen. Let's get this going. We're gonna try to, for those of you listening in the car, we're gonna try to paint a picture for you about what's going on as best as we can.
It looks like a
as
big
we
wheel.
share screen. This looks like a
Picture
big
the wheel
wheel
of fortune, but it's upright, and it's not fortune. It's words.
It's words. So here it is. July's Finest motherfucking basement wheel from a podcast. We're going to start this fucking bitch. And sound effects are on.
Nice. Here we go.
Okay. So how do I spin this thing, Joe? You're usually the spinner.
Well, I can't see it yet, so you haven't shared screen yet. But once you
definitely did share the screen, but clearly, just selected it, didn't share it.
Hey.
Okay.
There we are.
Here we go. All right, we got a couple topics here, guys. We got 15 topics for us today, and you can't see this bar I'm moving around, right?
Yeah, I know. I cannot. I can see no
Okay,
music
thank
available. I don't know
fucking
what that
God.
means.
No. If that's up there, it's gonna make
Oh,
sound when
nice.
I spin
Yeah,
this
so I
thing.
would just say just click the spin it button.
Yeah, we'll do that. That
Here
sounds
we go.
good.
Oh, we
15
got a lot of
topics.
words up here.
We
Some of
got
them are proper
15
nouns.
15
Interesting.
words, some proper nouns.
Oh
Two.
shit! What? No, these are just words. This is the first time that Dylan developed the wheel. Some of these look like paragraphs. This is gonna be fun.
Dylan to have the wheel. We have a algorithm that is AI based.
Well, I'm just saying that
robots
you
that
curated the
develops
algorithm.
the wheel.
And DJBP, when I did it, came up with single words, and when you
Yeah, well,
curated
you know what?
came up with
It is
entire
July's
essays.
finest wheel, not May's Joseph Collins wheel. So you never know
I'm
what's going to
pumped.
happen.
I'm pumped.
All it did was see it saw a cowboy hat.
Damn. Oh, so some of these are people. All right. I'm gonna.
It saw a cowboy hat. It saw a stolen shirt. I am wearing a stolen shirt. I stole this shirt, and it said, "Here's what you get. 15."
It's not hard for me to believe you didn't buy that earnestly, but I can't imagine you wearing it.
No, I got this for free. Someone left it at somewhere, and I took it. So,
all right, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
First topic.
So like a proper gentleman that I am, Joe, I'm gonna spin it for you, and you're gonna. Oh, we both talk. What am I doing?
Oh, isn't DJ BP supposed to spin it?
Yes, DJ, can you give us a fucking rip, my friend?
Give us a rip, DJ, please. Here we go. Honolulu Handshake.
Honolulu Handshake. Does anybody know what a Honolulu Handshake is? We have both discussed this.
I'm assuming, I don't remember what we said, but I'm assuming you went on Urban Dictionary and looked up sex things and you found your favorite one. Am I close?
You are very close to that.
Mm-hmm.
I went on Urban Dictionary about a year ago with you, and we typed in city names.
Okay, all right. Because I do recognize the phrase Honolulu Handshake, but I couldn't tell you exactly what it is besides that it's a sexual move.
It's it's pretty much replaced the board game Monopoly. If you open Urban Dictionary and you type in a city, and then you click one of the cities that has a thing like, a Memphis hot dog bun, or
the city, and then whatever noun,
Boston deep dive, or a Cincinnati finger crunch,
Cleveland steamer, classic one.
You get one. So today's algorithm brought us the Honolulu Handshake, which is the act of a nun swimming underneath someone at the beach and subsequently giving them a hand job.
Yeah.
To the immense surprise and delight of the recipient. Totally surprised.
I think that probably depends on the recipient, but probably true most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. So although the act is not well known, it's surprisingly commonplace. In fact, the Honolulu Handshake...
just reading the definition.
In fact, I had to figure out what this is somehow. In fact, the Honolulu Handshake, along with its common variant, the Pope Grope, is the third most commonly practiced beach activity enjoyed by nuns, preceded only by the Guatemalan knife fight and building sand convents. So that's it. So if you are at the beach and all of a sudden you're just swimming, and all of a sudden you see something dark approaching you in the water, you might think it's a shark. It might not be a shark.
And a lot of shark attacks in the Northeast. A woman of the cloth in a full habit.
Yep.
And she has a bad habit, and that habit is jerking off strangers at the beach.
At the beach. Wow. Like one guy said, man, that was quite the Honolulu Handshake. I really didn't see that one coming. We were all swimming, and then I saw snorkels and veils. Next thing you know, I was up to my Pokemon cards and Honolulu Handshakes.
Well, I do love the definition, and now I clearly remember you reading this word for word when you said Pokemon cards. That's hilarious. Yep. But it has so little to do with Hawaii. It could be in fucking Cape Cod for all we know. And actually, it'd be much more likely to have a nun in Cape Cod than in Honolulu, I would imagine.
I mean, have you ever had a Cape Cod handshake, Joe?
I don't think I have. Is that when people sell you OxyContin on the beach?
It could be. I don't know. I don't know the definition of that one. It would take some research to figure out what that is. But I do know what the Honolulu Handshake is.
Wow, that is something that I must have suppressed in my mind. Thank you for dragging it back up, but now it's right in the forefront again.
Turn the forefront. All right. Well, thank you to DJ BP for putting this in the list.
Thank you, DJ. You have spent too much time with Dylan.
Yep. And if you ever, any of the listeners ever get a Honolulu Handshake, just be sure to comment on that. Let us know how it went.
Yeah, our listeners don't do shit like that.
It's pretty
Even
crazy.
our new listeners, I don't think are having any inappropriate times and nuns. But if you do, like Dylan said, go ahead, email us.
Yeah, just comment. We're always looking for new guests, so we'll have you on. So,
Yep.
All right, let's give this a spin. Let's see what's up.
Let's give it a spin.
Here we go. We're spinning the wheel.
Where it stops, nobody knows. We're
and
landing
we
on.
have got Costco, Sam's Club, or just raw dogging groceries. Joe,
Very nice.
what does that mean?
Well, the first thing I think of when I hear that is BJ's. Anybody? I mean,
Fuck.
Costco, Sam's Club. I've never even been to a Sam's Club. And Costco, I consider the Pepsi of BJ's.
Costco is the Pepsi of BJ's.
That's what I think. I'm sure in some parts of the nation, they've never even heard of BJ's. But as far as I am concerned, Berkeley and Jensen's is the wholesale building for me.
So that's what BJ stands for?
Mm-hmm. I only know that one because if you go to buy their water or their vodka, it's labeled Berkeley and Jensen's.
No shit. Okay. All right. So does Costco mean Kirkland's? No, it doesn't because it's a K. But
I think that Kirkland is also a BJ's brand, maybe, or
Kirkland
it's Costco.
Is definitely the Costco brand.
So that's the Costco instead of Berkeley and Jensen's. It's the Kirkland.
Yep. Yes. Exactly.
Gotcha. Well, I thought Costco was like it's a portmanteau of like cost-cutting corporation or something like that.
Probably Costco. It's probably
I don't think like Bob Costco started it, but Jebediah Berkeley and Michael Jensen almost certainly started Berkeley and Jensen's.
That's a good point.
So
Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's is missing because it's probably superior, or just raw dogging groceries and going broke all the time.
That's what raw dogging groceries is.
Yeah.
By the context clues, I thought it was like you're just getting the wholesale.
No, it means like you just go to, so like people who go to Costco and Sam's Club and BJ's because they're all the same category. Sam's Club is Walmart. Walmart owns Sam's Club. BJ's, like it says, Berkman Jensen. Costco is fucking whatever.
Walmart was like, we're not saving people enough money.
Let's put a warehouse out there. I got my first go-kart from Sam's Club. That was fun. And then
I thought it was from BJ's.
Costco sells a fucking dope surfboard, not bad, for like $100. And then
where is there a Sam's Club around you? I know there's one in Worcester. That's the only one I've ever seen in my life.
There was one on Route 9 in Framingham.
Oh, okay.
Or Natick. I don't know if it's still there, but as a kid we used to go that one.
Gotcha.
And so you pay a membership fee like $60 a year.
That's why I mean it's such a small fee to get in, but I've never bought a membership to any of those.
I never have either. So I don't think you're really saving any money.
I think you are.
Well, you're buying everything.
Let's debate on this right now.
That's what we're doing. That's the whole point of this. So
you don't think we're saving any money? I think you are saving money.
I think for me, it's more of a convenience thing. Like I'm really interested in joining one of these. None of them are fucking near me. Because I like to, instead of like going to raw dog groceries by buying fucking 4 paper towels at a time, you buy 24. And
so raw dogging is just like buying it as you need it,
as you
a la
need
carte
it.
style.
Yes, exactly.
So well then in that case, I raw dog groceries every single week.
I've raw dog groceries on a daily basis.
There you go.
Not even every week. It's
in
terrible.
that case, you're not saving money. If that's your argument, then you're correct.
It's awful. But I also don't. Here's the problem with Costco, Sam's Club, and BJ's. Mm-hmm. You cannot buy chicken breasts in bulk because who the fuck? All of a sudden, it's like been like 4 days in your fridge. Like, let's cook these chicken breasts. That's disgusting. You should cook chicken breasts, fish, fucking that type of shit. You should cook that real quick.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're getting specific because you're hitting the peak of the problem here, which is that when you buy things wholesale, if you buy perishable items, you need to have 10 kids. That's the only way for it to work.
Exactly.
But if you buy everything else in the store, non-perishable items, paper towels, TP is a big one for me. It doesn't go bad, and you're never going to stop needing it anytime soon. You're not going to get sick of it. Yeah, I've had enough of toilet paper. I'm going to try buying Febreze bottles for my asshole going forward here. Or even the BJ's vodka or whatever it is, but 100 pack of Skittles. These things are never going to go bad. Or at least it'll take a very long time for the Skittles to go bad in that case. And in that case, if you're going to use it all up and you have the money beforehand, you're saving money every single time you use it. And that membership is going to pay for itself within 2 trips. $60 is a pain in the ass amount to spend. But if you buy 200, pallets of toilet paper, you won't have to wipe your ass with your hand until the cows come home.
Yeah, exactly. And it's nice to have an abundance of things. It's like, oh, it's already bought for the year. Mm-hmm. I don't need to worry about it. We've got enough toilet paper to last us fucking 6 months. Like I'm all on board with it. So DJ BP put this on here because I'm really interested in Costco. If you guys are listeners in like your Costco, Sam's Club, probably not Sam's Club because it just sounds like that's not really doing great. Or your Costco BJ's guy or gal or whatever you are. Let us know, just let us going. If you like me and Joe, don't have a lot of
I'm never going to need that much of anything. I mean, the other thing about it is that you have to commit to having the same product for the foreseeable future, which I will never do. Even with toilet paper, I might go Angel Soft, I might go Charmin. I don't know what I'm going to do next time.
All right, that's where you're wrong now. I'll tell you this. So
I can't believe you flipped it on me. You still have to skip the position if you don't.
No, I flipped you, but you don't always need the nicest toilet paper because what they do is.
Wait a minute. You think Angel Soft is the nicest toilet paper?
No. I don't go for those brands. I go for the middle one. Like sometimes
that is
you
the
get
middle one.
1,000 sheets of Market Basket toilet paper, and it's not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive.
It must be close to the cheapest. Market Basket toilet paper.
Here's my
Market Basket is the ghettoest restaurant, grocery store I've ever been to. Aldi's and Market Basket in my head,
dude,
they're
Aldi
neck and
is
neck.
So bad, dude.
They're neck and neck.
Here's my thing.
Mind.
This is
I just came from Market Basket an hour and a half ago, just for the record.
Okay, so maybe the Providence one, but I'm either full blown Whole Foods
or
Market Basket. I'm one or the other. There's no middle ground for me. I am Whole Foods or Market Basket because there's not Trader Joe's near me. But that's where I'm at. I'm one or the other. You're feast
and
the thing with Market Basket that no one's talking about is that the shelves get emptied so fucking fast, so nothing sits. Mm-hmm. So you're getting the same fucking box of goldfish that you get at goddamn Stop and Shop, but it just doesn't show as much. Yeah, and Market Basket's got a fucking hell of a frozen shrimp.
All right, that's very specific.
It is, I know. So I'm feeling Market Basket. I used to think it was really shitty. Like you,
I think it is shitty. I think it's weird as fuck. It's like 1991 in there all the time. It's all their workers have to wear smocks from the 70s. It's a weird setup where people are always like bumping into you, even though it's a grocery store. It's like there's no room. Everything's packed in everywhere. They line the entire outside of the store, which looks cute with like little shops and stuff. But instead, it's just you're always bumping into people. All the food, they're like, it's only $5 for a piece of pizza or a chicken sandwich here. You can get it right at the grocery store. It's trash. It's all trash. It's why they sell it for that. And I waited at the deli for 20 minutes today. There was only one person ahead of me. What the hell's going on here? I went to go buy my shit in line. There was 5 registers open, and there was, 1,000 people there. I had 5 items. I waited in line for a whole goddamn day. We get it. It's a little bit cheaper, but I'm right in the middle, man. I'm not going to argue for it, but I don't go usually for the Whole Foods or the Market Basket. I go right in the middle with Stop and Shop. It's better quality, better experience. You pay more. You don't get the real good quality of Whole Foods, but you don't have to go to Market Basket. I'll pay an extra $1 to not sit in the fucking deli line for 20 minutes with no one is there. There's no one there. Why the hell am I waiting for so long? And the kid gave me a goddamn pound. I wanted actually, it got me pretty good. He's like, it's a little bit over. I was like, I'll take a half pound of roast beef. He goes, it's a little bit over. He hands it to me. It's a fucking pound and a half. I'm like, all right, it's a little bit too much over, man. I'm not paying 3 times.
The half over is a little deal. You should do what he did in the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke, where he takes it's a little bit over. Sometimes he just like the person cutting the meat just eats a piece and they go, how's that now? And they go, yeah, it's good. Or Mickey Rourke takes the fucking meat and just throws it at the back wall and then goes, oh, is that better now? Oh God, it's so fucking funny. The Wrestler, watch that movie. He works in deli counter. Before we click spin again, because we had a lot of topics to cover, you didn't mention how much of a fucking shithole Shaw's is, because I must be a money laundering institution. Shaw's is a shitbag shithole. None of them are nice. They're so run down and no one's in there. So like if you want to get a box of Frosted Flakes, it's dusty. Like, what is that? But it's run down at the same time.
How long have they been there to get
That's dusty? Not cool.
That's like a gum wrapper at a Shell station. Like, it has to be there for like 6 months before it gets dusty. That's insane.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I mean, I think that also a good contender we haven't brought up there is Price Chopper. I think that's a good option as well. I'd rather go to Price Chopper or Stop and Shop than Market Basket every day of the week. And because, I think this goes without saying, you and I are usually not shopping for an entire family of people. So really going the Whole Foods route, or not Whole Foods, wholesale route, like BJ's or Sam's Club, you have to want to be like buying like for a party or like a full family of people for like 8 months. And we usually don't have that in our future this month. So there's really no need for that much of one thing.
Yeah, I want to give it a shot though, but we'll see where things go.
I always want to do it for like 1 or 2 items, but I can't justify buying a membership just to buy one pallet of NOS or whatever weird thing I want to have more.
Get a fucking pallet of NOS, man. It could save you a couple $100 a year. You never know.
Honestly, it saves you a shit ton because it's like $3.50 now for a goddamn energy drink, and it used to be $2.50. If you get it in a pallet, it's like $1. So there you go.
Jesus, goddamn Christ! The fucking NOS prices are going off the chain.
These NOS prices are going up like gas prices.
It's well NOS.
Thanks a lot, Joe Biden. Am I right?
Yeah, Joe Biden. All right.
All
right, we're gonna spin this fucking thing again, and we're gonna do that.
Okay.
Anything could happen. Anything.
We got next.
What do we got
on this
next?
random word generator?
Random word generator.
I'm actually happy.
Eliminates.
Because Honolulu Handshake came up again.
Already had that.
There we go. Perfect. Got out of the way.
Spin this fucker again.
One more time, DJ. Please spin the wheel.
Thank you, DJ, for spinning this fucking thing.
And we have Austrian inventor Franz Reichelt and his parachute.
All right.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, I do. Thank God.
Shocker.
Someone
Shocker.
Someone knows who this is, and
good.
But just thanks to you, it's a really, really, really quick story.
Thanks to me.
Franz Reichelt and his parachute.
Reichelt.
This is in.
It's not Reichelt. Isn't like the Third Reich? It's not the Third Reich.
Well, he doesn't want to remind himself of the Third Reich, although he died before that. So.
I hear the name Franz, and I think about that part of Europe. Like Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the immortal witch.
I thought you think of Franz Brix.
That's Hans Blix.
Oh, okay. What does parachute remind you of?
It reminds me of G.P. Cooper.
Oh, nice. My first thought would be the parachute we had in like pre-K.
That reminded me of it because
cool.
Last time we spun the wheel, one of the words was parachute, and you talked about that.
No fucking way.
Yeah, we talked about the gymnasium parachute for like probably 20 minutes.
Dude, that was a good one.
I know.
So this guy is from Austria, and it's got to be in the early 1900s. And he fought so hard, Joe, like so hard to get permission to test his parachute off of the Empire State Building. And he just kept fighting. They said, no, Franz.
He wanted to be the first base jumper.
Yeah, and with a homemade parachute, because he has this new invention. It's like this new parachute. It's really cool. And they said, no, Franz, we can't only do that, in their French accents. And he just kept fighting.
Oh, the Empire State Building, or are you talking about the Eiffel Tower?
I said Eiffel Tower, didn't I?
No, definitely not, because I was like, oh, he's in America? I would never thought of that.
Sorry. Eiffel Tower.
Okay, yeah,
He just kept fighting so hard to jump off the Eiffel Tower with his homemade parachute because he just is obviously,
One way to test it out. You gotta jump
when we
off the
tested
Eiffel
out, he
Tower.
did this, and he jumped off and hit the ground without the parachute working and died.
Damn.
Yeah,
I like that. I like him.
kind of funny. Yeah,
I mean,
So-
he's at the same. This is a very weird subsection of history of people who are like kind of geniuses, but also idiots. Because like he obviously was stupid enough to think this might work, but he was smart enough to develop his own parachute and had the wherewithal and the bravery to be like, I'm going to test it out by doing something that I cannot come back from, whether or not it works. He had a lot of faith. It reminds me of that guy who built the bird wings in Italy, and he jumped off the bridge with the wings, and he did the same
trying
thing.
to flap. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, just think about all the people who are great skydiving instructors or, paratroopers. Those guys crawled so you could run. Guys like that who just took one for the team and just went straight down to the earth at terminal velocity.
Yeah,
like
you gotta love those that group of mostly men, if not 100% men.
I would say that group has got to be nearly 100%.
Yeah, they think that like we die in our 70s and 80s because of old age, but it's probably because you're this guy and you live in Paris and you go like,
yeah,
I am going to make the sickest parachute. It's going to work so well, and I'm going to jump off the Empire State Building and prove to everyone how cool I am and how well I can make a parachute. And you jump off and it does absolutely nothing, and you just turn to a
curse splat.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I like that shit though. Well, I think it's also a hilarious way to commit suicide. Be like, I'm testing out my new parachute. You just jump. Everyone has to watch.
Yeah.
It never even opens. You just jump. I saw a great video last week of a guy, bawling out of his mind. It's probably like a couple of years old, but he has a GoPro on his head, as you do. He jumps. I don't know. It must have been out of a plane or something but it was a pretty low flying plane because he lands precisely on the top of a skyscraper, and he has one of those parachutes where you can like kind of steer it with the two sides.
Yeah.
Right? Lands on the skyscraper. Immediately, 2 security guards come up and they start yelling at him. And he starts grabbing this. Yeah. He starts grabbing his parachute and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. What are you gonna do?" I think it's not even in English, but you can tell he's like, "Oh, I won't happen again." They're like, "All right, well, get out of here. Get out of here." And as soon as he packs it up, he turns and just books at the other side and just jumps off the skyscraper again. The 2 guys just have to watch him go. What can you do? He's like a superhero at that point. It's like, try to stop me. And then he lands on the beach.
I saw that. That's exactly the video I was thinking of. And they're like, don't do it, don't jump. And he's like, I'm jumping.
You can't stop me. You can't stop me.
You're going
to jump off and grab me? It's the best way to escape anything, at least for another 2 minutes. They cannot stop you while you're in the air.
It reminds me of the all of the other videos I've seen of wingsuit people eating it. And it's not you're skateboarding and eating it. Like they hit trees going 200 miles an hour, so it's not good for them.
Yeah, like
but they take crazy risks, and they're like trying to they're like, I really feel alive, and then they just go too low and hit a fucking Christmas tree growing inside a mountain, and it's game over.
Yeah, it's a weird like bundling, right? Because if you're the kind of guy who's gonna risk that, you're also the kind of person who's not gonna play it safe. So you're inherently more at risk for getting injured because you're already adrenaline junkie. So the very fact that you're flying in a wingsuit doesn't just mean that wingsuits are dangerous, which they are. It's also that you're going to go like kiss the cliff while you're going 200 miles an hour, and that'll do you.
Yeah. And then you just get to sit with your friends, the beer after, and go, that was pretty fucking cool. But there's a risk mitigation that most people have where they go, is the risk reward thing? Like there's no reward for that. And besides like, wow, that guy's a fucking nut. It's
the thrill. It's the thrill of it.
It's the thrill.
Some people like that nervous, jittery feeling of when you're almost in a fatal car crash. Some people get off on that, and those people fly wingsuits at cliffside, and people like me try to avoid that at all costs. I like to get my rocks off without having rocks hit me.
Because even through all the dangerous things that I've done, I've taken a decent amount of risks.
I think you're riskier than I am.
I definitely am, but I don't like that feeling when that happens. Like sometimes it even happens when I get that feeling sometimes when the sun's completely down past the horizon and I'm 4 miles from my car in the woods, and I'm like, fuck. Like, I hope this sun doesn't
feel
go
alive,
out.
man.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Not that one. That's one that doesn't make you feel great. Like, and same with all the near
Terror.
death accidents I've had with cars and snowmobiles and bikes and fucking
Yeah, but
as
you know that
most.
feeling where even if you're
Well, I
sitting
didn't
down
know the
after it's
wheel.
over, your hands are still shaking because you're still adrenaline's just buzzing through you.
I don't like it because I think about it. I remember I'm not going to mention them, but I remember all these events and I don't like them. Like I wish I didn't. I wish it didn't happen because it's like, wow, I came so close. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, some people love that shit. They're crazy and good for them.
Yeah, I don't like that. I'm just thankful that it never went bad for me.
Right. Well, that's why I think it's never that tragic when like a skydiver who's done it for like 7 years like hits the deck hard and they die. I'm like, I don't feel good about it, but I'm not like, oh, what a tragedy. It's like they didn't get hit in a drunk driving accident. Like they were like, I've been riding this line all day long, and I get my my nuts off on being this close to it, and then one day I hit it. I don't think that they would be like, shit, I should have never done this. I think they would have been like, yeah, that's what I was doing. And then the one time it fucked up. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, no, exactly. And not all those who live by the sword die by the sword, but some do. And when they do, you go, fucking, this is terrible. I wish he was here.
You can only play Russian roulette. Yeah, and mostly all
he was here.
Yeah, not to be exclusionary, but most of the people who do this stupid ass shit that you almost die are guys, and that definitely, like you said, brings down the average age of death when however many percentage of males die in their early 20s because of doing shit like this. It brings down the average a lot.
Yeah, it sure does. God, is that funny, but sad. So,
hell yeah.
I think it's time for our first commercial break.
I think so too.
We'll be right back after that. There's the old bells, the jingle bells open the door. All right.
In the wheel.
Hey, what's going on? Just want to give you guys a look at my morning commute. I wake up, make myself a cup of water, and then I walk off the island to this dock here. And then when it's ready to go to work time, I go ahead and I hop in my boat here. And then I do the commute across the lake so that I can get into my car and then go to work. It's 7 o'clock.
So let's share the old screen and let's give this the old spin. Right, say DJ BP, our resident robot.
Spin again, DJ.
Spin again. Ooh, a word. All right, everybody. We landed on the word curved.
All right. So the first thing I'm thinking about this is like a curve has a lot of different meanings. Obviously, it's the shape that goes off of its trajectory, turns a bit. The first thing I think of though is like how curve has made a huge uptick in the past, 10, 15 years to describe people's bodies.
Well, that would be curvy. Curved's different, Joe. Curved would be someone with like scoliosis. Like, oh, I'm curved. Curvy.
Wait, what did you call it?
Curved would be like someone who has scoliosis.
That's what you call it? Scoliosis?
Scoliosis, yeah.
I thought it was scoliosis.
Dude, I'm not. I didn't go to that type of college, so I don't know.
You're such a fucking bullshitter. Every time I didn't go to college, so I don't know. I pick it up. I pick it up as I go. I didn't go to a medical school either. I don't know.
I didn't go to that type of college.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
What did I say?
Scoliosis.
Scoliosis. I don't know.
I think it's. I thought it was scoliosis.
I don't even know. So
the osis of having scoliosis. So curve.
I think curved.
Why don't you tell me why you put it on the reel, and then we'll talk about that.
Because I needed a random word.
No. Just tell me what it makes you think of, and then we'll go from that.
Curved dick.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right, let's talk about curved dick.
Not why, but that's a thing. I mean, and curved dicks come from commercials where they show you that like it's like an ED commercial, and it shows you that like some guys have dick pain.
Yeah,
some people have curved
there's a
dicks.
name for that too. Let me look it up while we talk about this. There's a name for like having a naturally
Ankylosing
curved...
spondylosis or one of those names. Is that what it is?
Whoa! If you came up with that, you must have gone to that school you were talking about.
I guess so, man. So curved, yeah. Some people have curved dicks. I feel like more people.
Oh, it's
don't have
called
curved
Peyronie's disease.
Peyronie's disease. Yeah, that's the commercial.
Yeah.
It's like, do you suffer? Are you a male ages 18 to 91? Do you have a curved dick that's affecting your sex life and
oh my god,
this is medicines are helping?
Bleak.
They go, you might be suffering from what's known as Peyronie's disease, and you are entitled to your settlement.
Also called penile fibrosis.
Penile fibrosis. So I think
it resulting in a fibrous scar tissue that develops on the penis and causes a curved, painful erections. It is a chronic condition, and it can last for years or be a lifelong condition. More than 200,000 U.S. cases per year of Peyronie's disease. Good God, it really makes me feel fortunate for my situation. That is rough.
Yeah, nothing like having a nice straight dick, you know. Some of these guys.
Well, I didn't say that.
Some of these guys out there with Peyronie's disease are getting scar tissue. I'm just saying I have
Peyronie's disease. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Peyronie's disease. So, to all Peyronie's disease sufferers out there, the 200,000 males.
The number one question: how can I fix my Peyronie's disease? Number one answer: there is no cure for Peyronie's disease. That is bleak, dude.
That's rough.
These poor sons of bitches.
That's rough.
Many treatments exist, including stretch therapy, which I guess means just TC tuggers.
Yeah. Hi, I'd like to go to physical therapy. Oh yeah, sure. What's wrong with you? Like a knee problem or neck problem or something like that? No, my dick's curved, and they told
no. You go. I have Peyronie's disease.
Oh, yes.
You make it sound like a professional.
No.
I suffer.
I'm suffering from Peyronie's disease.
I'm suffering from chronic Peyronie's disees.
No, like okay, you're a 30-year-old male. I don't think I want to help you. Some so old guy who's just trying to pee and his dick's curved and it hurts. It's like you're a 30-year-old actively sexual male whose dick hurts. You're like, yeah, I want physical therapy. Isn't this just supports a body part?
Is that not a physical part of my body? Well, the major causes, it says the type of damage is most often caused by vigorous sex. Okay, so you're already you're already in it.
You're already killing it.
It's not like
physical therapy. It's not like you're like
you already
just
have the confidence
having it and stuff going on here. It's like, oh, it's caused by you fucking slaying, and now you're in physical
therapy.
I'm
sorry. Did you have too much sex? Oh, boo-hoo.
Oh, boo-hoo. You came here because you want us to stretch your dick. That's
hell yeah. Close out the wheel.
Cool.
Or it says it can also be caused by sports or other accidents. No. Like, yeah, there you go. Sports or other accidents. Imagine you never have sex and you just have a sports accident and then you have Peyronie's disease. Not fair. Life is.
No, I think I have that.
Yeah.
I get kicked in the nuts so many times, and
I think that's a different problem. Although they usually come as a package deal, I think there's much different problems between the two different parts of the male genitalia there.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. But there's definitely damage. I definitely have damage for sure from getting kicked in the nuts more than anybody I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, actually, I talked about you today and your nuts.
Thanks,
vaguely.
Dude. I appreciate that. Yeah,
I didn't use your name in particular.
No, no. Here on out,
we're talking about.
Always use my name.
Okay. Oh yeah, we were talking about testicular trauma at work, and what goes along with that.
A presentation? Was this a presentation?
We're talking about testicular. Yeah. I had the PowerPoint up on the projector, and I
blur my face and blur the naked photos of me that you have of my penis, and this is Ken.
You're like, please ignore the Peyronie's disease. We're focused on the berries.
Exactly. And he's wearing a Dylan Joe Basin podcast shirt. Like, we don't know who he is.
He does the thing where the blur is only in one spot. When you move, it shows your face. Exactly. You go back in it.
Yeah. We have this specimen who has Peyronie's disease, and he has testicular trauma.
Yeah, I was talking about testicular torsion, and then I brought up one of those classic medical things where they just go, my back hurts. Yeah, that happens. What do we do? Oh no, your back hurts forever now.
Yeah, you are that now.
Yeah,
that's how you are now.
Okay.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah. So tell us more about who you're talking to about my.
I was and I was talking to my
Sorry, my
boss,
balls.
the old lady, and
Yep.
she was like, "What do you know about testicles?" And I said, "Let's sit down here, old lady. I'll tell you all about it." No, I was talking to my buddies at work about it.
I thought you were serious. I was like, okay, it's cool. Yeah.
No, I was fucking around. No, I'm talking to I was talking to the boys about this little couple of balls and stuff like that. And we're talking about getting hit in the nuts, and I was talking about how I'm like, yeah, my buddy, like, he gone to the doctor to be
So
like,
many
what's
times.
going on with me? And they're just like, yeah, that's just how you are now. I'm like, God damn, dude, that's brutal.
Yeah.
He
Even a
talked
couple
about one
months
of
ago.
his uncle's friends. Not only had the twisting like tetherball.
Oh, that's bad. Torsion is surgery.
Yeah,
I never had that.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's just
I know
no
someone
way out.
who had that.
He brought up the fact that the torsion's bad enough, but this one, and this is viewer discretion is advised on this thing. He was talking about when, not the guy I work with, his uncle, when he did baseball back in the day, they still had cleats with metal cleats on them.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude was sliding to home base and he was the catcher, no cup. The dude split him open like a bag of flour in an Italian pizza place movie, just right down the middle.
Damn.
Out they go. And then it looked like the Niagara Falls and they had to call in the ambulance, which I'm guessing in 1981 took, I don't know, 2 hours to get there.
Yep.
Wow. And then everything after that.
Imagine how much better would have looked if he was wearing just plastic cleats.
I think it would have been more bruising, less lacerations, if I had to guess. But
yeah,
it still would have been bad. But it probably would have still been in the shopping bag and not all over the parking lot, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd throw up immediately if I saw a ball come out of the bag. That's bad.
Yeah,
nothing.
So that's
like
curved.
That. Yeah, that's curved. Curved for everyone.
Curve your enthusiasm.
Podcast. Curved means probably your dick. All right, let's share a screen again. Let's give this a spin. See what's going on. See what the algorithm gave us for things to talk about.
See what Algae Rhythm has to say about all this.
Yeah, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Monkfish.
LG Rhythm is a pussy.
I don't actually remember what this
fucking
is.
Pussy. A monkfish. All right, so let's share. Let's go back to.
I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit here and look at what it looks like.
Wait, did I not share that? Did you see that spin?
No.
Okay, well, we laid out a monkfish.
That's all right, but I'm gonna look up what it looks like because I don't actually know, but I know we talked about it before.
So monkfish.
But I know you knew how it looks like.
Sometimes back in the 80s, they actually used to tell you like, "Hey, lobster's too expensive. You should eat monkfish. It tastes like lobster." Okay. And then every now and then, some people would be like, "All right, well, I'm just gonna instead of lobster, I'll have monkfish." Monkfish looks like a fucking anglerfish without the light on it.
Yeah, and like someone stepped on it.
Someone stepped on an anglerfish, removed the light fixture.
Yeah.
And now you have a monkfish and it tastes like lobster and it's native to the upper.
Does it? Have you ever tasted it?
I've had monkfish.
I can see that they cut it like lobster tail and try to make it look like it's lobster.
It's like fake lobster. And one time I had the story of my dad who was like, "Oh yeah, fuck it. It's this cool new thing in the 80s. I'm going to get a monkfish and instead of lobster because apparently it tastes just like lobster." And it didn't taste like lobster at all. So he's like, "Well, maybe it's because it's not in the shape of lobster." So he moved it on his plate and made it look like a lobster on his plate and then still didn't think it was a fucking lobster.
Yeah, because all the pictures I'm seeing, they're preparing it like lobster, like just the tail and like, the two ridges along the side of the lobster tail, but it looks like chicken actually.
Yeah, imagine, but before it gets in its native habitat, imagine the worst fucking
disgusting
catfish you've ever goddamn seen.
Well, the picture's going to be up in the pod, so luckily the folks can see it. But yeah,
well, I'm going to describe the listeners the worst goddamn fucking catfish ever, mixed with an anglerfish that you stepped on and then not even cut off the fucking light bulb, just pulled it off.
Yes, you got yanked.
Pulled it off.
I mean, the mouth of this thing
like a Peyronie's disease wiener that just needs to be removed from the socket. That's the type of fucking fish this is. So that is totally a monkfish. The thing is, right now the most popular fish on the East Coast are cod, haddock, seafood, scallops, lobster, and shrimp. That's what we're all eating.
Is that in order?
Close, actually. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I can
definitely,
believe
because
that.
I was reading this article from the Globe that was telling about this guy in New Bedford, which is not a great place, who has a restaurant that instead of having him tell his fishermen what he needs, they tell him what they have. So he goes, oh, okay, you got some monkfish, some stripers, and some fucking whatever from the ocean. I'll make awesome dishes out of those. Apparently, monkfish is super abundant, where all the fucking people just want cod and haddock for fish sandwiches. And he's making monkfish,
Wow.
pulled pork, but it's pulled monkfish barbecue sandwich. Like he's doing cool shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm down with that.
Gotta
like
be cheaper too.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they catch what they have. The cod and haddock aren't always in season, so you have to get some weird fucking cod from God knows
it's
where.
always. I mean, it's flat for a reason. It is the bottom. The bottom.
Yeah, you want local fish. Sometimes you have to have monkfish, and that's what I know about monkfish. They're fucking brown,
and they're all over the world. Just so we know, I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, good to know. And there's the Asian monkfish.
Yeah.
Any in Russia?
Oh, I'm not sure about Russia, but they are they're on the oceans of Asia, Africa, and the Americas. They're three different species, but they're all considered a part of the family of monkfish, and they all look pretty similar. Ugly as sin.
Ugly as sin. Like Peyronie's disease, 79-year-old wiener of an obese gentleman.
Okay.
That is the monkfish.
Yes,
Moving on. Yeah. Joe, you think it's time to spin this wheel again?
I think so. I think we got it.
All right, I'm gonna learn how to share the screen. Oh, there it is. We got it. I'm sorry, there's no sound. We do love the sound effects, but it just for some reason just isn't fucking translating. I have no fucking clue why.
I don't know. That's all right though.
That's okay. We'll just make the sound.
Fish taste like home.
Yeah. Like that's right. It is the official fish of the Dylan Joe Basin podcast. Is as of today is a monkfish. It might change tomorrow, but right now it tastes like home. All right, DJ, let's spin this fucking thing. Joe, you want sound effects for this one? I've been doing the sound effects the whole time. You think you get this?
What?
I've been making the sound effects for the wheel.
You haven't been doing it the whole time. That's what threw me off.
No, I have. Every spin, I've been.
No, you have not. It's spin.
All right. Well, either way, it's your turn.
All right. There it is.
That's what a wheel sounds like. Chex Quest.
Chex Quest.
Chex Quest. CHEX Quest.
Spelt like the cereal because it is the cereal.
It is the cereal.
And if I'm not mistaken, and I'll take this one just because I think I know where you're going with this, it was a CD-ROM given out in cereal on the zenith of home computing. And it was a video game you could play by eating a bowl of cereal and put it on your computer, and then in it goes. And then next thing you know, you're playing a video game based off of the cereal Chex.
Yes.
And you might be able to correct me on this. Is this the first-person shooter one?
It definitely is the first-person shooter one.
I didn't go to cereal college, but I knew that somehow. Isn't that weird?
Oh my God, on it, dude! I can't believe that. That's crazy. So, did you have Chex Quest?
I did not. I just know about it. I had the Crunch Berries game for Captain Crunch, where you'd create a crunchling, look like a gremlin, and you'd train it skateboarding, playing basketball, whatever it needs to do to become grown-up crunchling, and then it could fight the monster that Captain Crunch cereal was being taken from. And the captain was in the game, but he was not really the main character. It was mostly about the crunchlings that you would make in the game. I mean, it's basically a free video game. You buy a box
like
of cereal,
shit compared to Chex Quest.
I think the Chex Quest is probably better, but let's not shit on the Crunchling. Let's not shit on the Crunch one because it was well better made, but it just wasn't more fun.
Okay, so Chex Quest as of today has a 9 out of 10 on Steam and a 5 out of 5 on Play Classic Games.
That is ridiculous,
dude.
It's not nearly that good.
No. I'm telling you,
it's all nostalgia votes, and you know it.
I don't know because I liked it more than Doom. I'm gonna be dead serious with you. Chex Quest was super sophisticated.
That makes sense because it literally, I think it stole
based off
the
of
Doom, not just the idea of it. I think they took the gaming engine and just reskinned it with Chex, and they just said it's a new game.
I'm pretty sure, but it just had this like certain way to it. I used to play in my mom's office like a lot. I played Chex Quest a fucking lot, and
Chex.
And it was fucking good. You're like a blue dude who his entire body is a fucking Chex.
Of course,
and it's from 1996.
1990 Swick.
1990 Swix, and it says it's a non-violent first-person shooter. And it is, dude. Joe, you're right.
It is, but it's funny to hear.
No, but it's the Doom engine. It's definitely just Doom.
Okay, yeah, it's the Doom. Yeah, so it's like they took Doom and they're like, we're gonna make a non-violent version of this, but get me here, cereal. And Chex is Chex is one of the only cereals without a mascot. So that's even stranger to make a video game with a cereal with no mascot. They had to make a mascot for the game, and it's just a Chex. The guy's a Chex too. And are you shooting Chex? I mean, the gun must shoot Chex, right? Or no?
No. The only Chex thing at all is like, no, you got bullets, you got lasers, you got fire.
No, you have bullets too? Because usually when they make it for kids, they just make it lasers only or whatever.
No, you've got like a gigantic range of guns, a gigantic range of enemies.
You have the BFG, like from Doom, the big fucking gun.
Yeah. It was really good. The sounds, the music, it was like Doom was kind of like just for the type of guys now who are just like.
Careful what you say. Doom's great and it holds up. And
Doom is great and holds up, but like it was like
Doom crawled.
Yeah, get some like that type of game. Chex Quest.
No. You're thinking of Duke Nukem.
Oh yeah, right.
The guy never talks in Doom.
Doom is like you're in hell. Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah, so
you're conflating it with Duke Nukem, which is a shitty game.
Is like the Johnny Bravo of male.
Yeah. No, that Duke Nukem took Dune and it pumped it full of Natty Light, I think, and it didn't do well for it.
Yep. But Chex Quest was no fucking bullshit. I hope to get an emulator for that soon. Well, I don't need that anymore. I can just probably play it. But Chex Quest
I'm gonna look on Steam.
Fun.
It might be free on Steam if there's Steam reviews for it, unless someone owns it.
Oh, yeah. Do I have to pay for Steam?
No. Steam is just a program where you can download games on. Some of them are free, and a lot of them cost money. But they're all less expensive than buying them on PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo because they don't own the rights to the games. They just
can I get it on my Switch?
No, it's for computer.
Oh man, fuck that. Dude, so real quick question: do you remember a game that is called? I don't remember the name, but you're like a tank, and it's very.
I can't believe you don't remember the name of this because you're the one who was obsessed with this game and you told me about it.
Not with the brains, no. It's like.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the game with the brain tanks.
No, that game's awesome. Think Tanks. No, Think Tanks was awesome.
Think Tanks.
This is like from the 80s or early 90s, and it was like you're a tank kind of driving through all these things. I have no better way to describe it.
Is it vector graphics like those ones with like the green lines? Yes. I have played it.
Dude, what the fuck is that? I've searched for this for years and I cannot find it. It is vector graphics.
I think the game's just called Tank, if I'm not mistaken. I might forget the name, but I know the game.
If anyone has actually played this game and is listening to this right now, please fucking let us know. I used to only play it at my cousin's house on their like super old computer in like 1995, and it was
they have it at Fun Spot. You can play it at a Fun Spot for sure, and it has the one where
Fun Spot has everything.
It's the recessed screen where it looks like it's 3D because like the screen's way set
like
back.
The Star Wars game that has
Also vector graphics.
Yes.
You'll be happy to know Chex Quest is on Steam right now and it's free.
Fucking gonna play that tonight. I'm doing it.
And I'm pretty sure no matter what laptop you have, it can handle it because it's made for Windows 95 or whatever. Probably 98, but still.
Yeah, no, it should be good. We should be good.
Yeah, I'm gonna download it right now, actually.
Yep, I'm fucking dude. You're gonna like it a lot. We could have a whole Dylan Joe basement Chex.
Yeah,
Quest.
we can do a Steam. What do you call it?
Twitch. Dylan Joe basement podcast playing Chex Quest screen share. Me and Joe.
We'll see if we can get it. The
episode
Think Tanks
60
in there, and then some Chex Quest.
Yeah. Fucking A, man. That's gonna be good. Shit.
Stay tuned, folks. We're gonna
spread
out our social
Chex
media.
Quest, the official video game of the Dylan Joe Basement Podcast, is Chex Quest, not Doom.
You heard it here first, you son of a mother.
Fuckers. Yep. So, all right, let's give everyone another spin here. We're getting there. We're checking off a couple boxes here.
Here we go.
Spin this fucking thing.
Spin there, DJ.
Geronimo. Geronimo.
And that I said it that way for a reason. That's how everyone says it.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because it's usually said as like a epithet or you call it epithet, whatever it's called. I don't know what the hell it's called.
I don't know.
And a thing you scream out, an expletive, but it's not a swear of, I'm about to do something wild. Geronimo, guns are blazing, all caution to the wind. Geronimo. And I don't know why it started like that, because I know for a fact that Geronimo is a famous Native American chieftain, and it must be based on that. I don't know if he ever did something like that, but those are the two things I know about Geronimo. You say it before you do something wild, and is also a very famous Native American leader.
So Geronimo,
Geronimo.
So I usually thought you'd say Geronimo every time you jump off something, like if you're in school and you
yeah. I guess I was thinking of like jumping, or I was thinking also like if you're gonna like dive down like a sledding hill head first and be like Geronimo.
Yeah, and I think we need to bring that back.
Yeah,
I haven't heard him say that in a while, but they should be saying that.
Yeah.
So
let's not let Geronimo's legend be forgotten. So what happened? He jumped off of like a giant mountain, like a badass, and was
he died by getting fucking launched off of his horse.
Oh, well, that'll do it.
While riding home, and then laid in the cold at night until he died.
Oh no. Well, that's kind of fucked up then.
So maybe he said Geronimo when he got kicked off his horse, and then he got pneumonia and died.
I guess you could also just say Franz Reichland and just jump off.
Yeah, dude, he could have. Yeah, no. Oh my God. Wow. Common theme here. I didn't realize that.
Jumping to your demise and becoming a legend because of it.
There was a 1939 film called Geronimo about U.S. Army paratroopers. Like, what is up with this fucking motherfucker?
Right, because I wonder if paratroopers said that too, but I know it's all
they
named
did.
After.
Apparently, they did. Like,
it's all named after the Indian chieftain, though, right?
Geronimo. Oh, it's all about this guy right here. His name is Geronimo Goya Ale. Born in 1829.
Later than I thought he would have been born.
And he was a Apache.
Apache, very nice. I often forget how recently Native Americans were still fighting wars to be their own nation. It's not that long ago, really.
It's really.
I'm thinking like it's always like John Smith or like Squanto with the Pilgrims, or John Smith and Pocahontas or whatever. But really, it was not that long ago. I mean, it was around the time of the Civil War. These folks were trying to fight for their survival, and they were being painted in the media, which is mostly newspapers at the time, as animals who lived there before we came in. It's really
but they were there for arguably 40,000 years. Like not 40, but probably half of that. Like these are Native Americans that are current present day, Southern Native Americans as well. Like it's
And I mean, I don't know what the proper way to say it is, but I know that like when we were growing up, it's like don't call them Indians anymore; they're Native Americans. And this isn't my like 2 cents on freedom of speech or whatever, but like I think that's a more respectful way to call. I know that some people are like, you should call them American Indians, and I go, well, why? If Native American people or American Indian people want to be called that, I understand. I'll call them whatever they want to be called, but it seems disrespectful to be like they named them Indians because they called them after people from India, and the guy landed in the wrong space. So why is he calling them Indians? It's disrespectful as fuck. And I guess it's like we're not Native Americans. That means that like we're like the jungle people who lived here before you got here. We're just Americans. Well, then I'll just call you American. I don't want to call you American Indians. You're not Indians. Indians is either like people from India or like the, classic John Wayne, let's shoot him in the head shit. It just sounds disrespectful to me.
Indians?
I think that what they would like to be called, obviously, is the name of their tribe.
I was gonna say whatever.
So we'll say Geronimo is not a Native American. We'll say Geronimo was an Apache. That's probably the best way to say it.
That's what I'd say. Yeah, it's way better than Native American because America is very big. America is not the United States. It's Canada, US, and
Southern and it was named after a fucking
all the way down to Argentina. Like it's fucking huge. So
you wouldn't call Aztecs Native Americans, but by that same logic, you could, I guess. But
no, you could. They're definitely categorized as Native Americans for sure.
Right. Yeah, but you'd call them Aztecs. You wouldn't call them, Native American.
Yeah, weird. Very weird. So yeah, Geronimo, badass. He did use guns as well to defend his territory. He was kind of like late 1800s Native Americans.
At that point, you have to. I mean, it's all well and good trying to use tomahawks, 1701, but in 1800s, you better have a rifle by that point.
Yeah.
And you're probably much better at riding horses than the people who are coming after you, which is also a weird thing.
100%.
Something brought up in the podcast before is that horses are not native to America. So that Native Americans or Apaches, or I think the Sioux and the Comanches were the two best at it. They became better at riding horses than Europeans who had been riding them for centuries. And they just found these animals for the first time and like, we know how to do this shit. And they became better than them at riding horses within like 100 years. And Europeans had like, 1,000+ years to figure it out.
Fat white alcoholics who like,
yeah. Who would have thought they'd be bad
changed at all? And there's just more of them, and they have.
I feel like it's probably a good analogy to have like a rich kid whose dad lets him drive his like old Ferrari, or a kid who like built his own car. Like, who's a better driver? It's like, no, the one who like wants it more and understands more about the actual thing.
100%.
So
no question,
I can see a Comanche being better riding horse because like they live amongst animals to understand them better. And they were and they need it more. They need to be able to ride these horses to stave off this invasion, rather than the guy who's like, I'm a cavalry leader because when I was 18, my daddy gave me a horse. Like, obviously, that guy's gonna be better than you.
Yeah, he's gonna kick your ass. Like, Native Americans were one with nature, one with the spirit, one with a universal life force. A horse has the same energy that keeps it moving, that no one can identify, that powers human beings as well.
It's called horsepower. That's kind of
it's called horsepower. Yeah, it's funny, nice joke. But like they've got all that, and then the cavalry leader's like, I am doing this the proper way because I am a Oxford graduate of the naval. Fuck you.
They have their fancy high-heeled shoes.
High-heel shoes and their fucking
those Comanches just threw a fucking blanket over that thing and they went bareback like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, they held on to the hair.
They grabbed the mane. Yeah, there you go. No bit, no whip, just you and the horse just going after.
And they don't say this on these documentaries, but the horse does know if you have Peyronie's disease. So
it does, and it also knows if you're a bitch or not.
It's what I'm saying. It means you're a bitch because
you know how like they say dogs and bees can smell fear. Horses can feel if you're a bitch if you jump on their back, and they will let you know.
Well, no jokes aside, no joke.
I'm not joking.
This ain't a fucking joke, Joe. They definitely know that. Like,
they know immediately.
Horses know who's a fucking bitch.
Either you're gonna ride that thing like Geronimo, or I shouldn't say that because I was gonna say you can either ride it like a Comanche, or you end up like Geronimo or Christopher Reeves and you take a tumble off the top and you end up like Stephen Hawking, unfortunately.
And Geronimo meant a similar fate, it sounds like. But maybe Geronimo was probably hungover. It's fine.
Yeah, well, at least Geronimo.
Dude, when you're hungover, sometimes you can't connect with other people or animals. I know this from experience. So maybe Geronimo just had a couple too many gin tonics that night and fucking got kicked off the horse.
Geronimo.
He had the devil's drink. The devil's water.
Devil's liquor. So I gotta do a quick commercial break real quick. Then we'll get right back into this. Does that sound good?
Absolutely. You know what that means, folks?
And then I go down my driveway. And then I go sell fine wood furniture, American cherry wood.
Back on the Dylan Joe Peyronie's Disease podcast episode.
I don't like that. I don't like
59.
Don't you dare call our beautiful podcast that.
We're talking about Peyronie's disease a lot. It's come up a ton. Oh, God. It's kind of fun.
It hasn't come up that much. You just keep bringing it up.
It's gonna come up again.
I know it is. I don't have to like it.
No one said you have to like it. It's okay.
Well, this is me dissenting.
Well, this is me sharing the screen, and we're gonna spin this motherfucker.
Let's spin the wheel, baby.
Where Peyronie's disease comes up.
I can't believe you should just put Peyronie disease instead of curved if you wanted to get to dick.
I didn't even mean. I thought that curved could have been.
I literally went off on one tangent, and I was gonna get to dicks, and you're like, shut up, it's dicks.
I can't choose what I say.
I feel. You know what? We'll get into it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's spin this thing. Spin.
Don't spin there, DJ. Coin collecting.
Done. Coin collecting.
All right.
Option number. We're in this podcast and now we're in coin collecting. So I haven't talked about coin collecting really ever, and I'm wondering.
Haven't you?
I haven't. I'm wondering where the future of this goes.
I think it's going to get
there's a lot of
harder
TikToks
and harder
out there.
to collect coins.
There's a lot of TikToks out there that all of a sudden like, oh, if you have a 1966 Abraham Lincoln penny that has a double fucking letter, it's worth $1 million. And you're like, is it? But who's buying that? And then like, how long does that last?
Other coin collectors.
I know, but just because it's a fuck up, like it's like such a weird valuation of like a piece of shit, you know, like it's really
I mean that's what it comes down to for all rare items though. It's like it's not about how great they are when it comes to scarcity. That's the value. It's like they have a baseball cards like that too. It's like, oh, I have the Roberto Clemente rookie card. It's like, that's fine. I have the one where they misprinted 5 of them, so they say he's right hand instead of left handed. Like that's worth $1 million. Like, what's wrong? It's like, yeah, it doesn't matter if it's wrong. It's
that's how it
rare.
goes. Like, what can we expose this industry and devalue all these things? Like, even Pokemon cards, like it's
Great
so
example.
strange because some have shadow. Like the Charizard, first edition doesn't have a shadow. The later editions do, or something like that, and the holographic ones, obviously. And and it's like it comes down to like scarcity and whatever it is, but it's just it's weird.
Just like everything. It's if it's rare,
fucking art,
it's worth more. That's it.
I know, but like I get it because it's commercialized and then rare. Like, oh, they only made one of these things, and then anything that's made to be this, like I was wondering because I needed some money recently, and someone gave me a
we brought this up on the podcast. Yeah, we
did. Got it. Okay, so
the 9/11 memorial
wasn't worth fucking yes. Oh yeah. Okay, what was worth shit? It's worth nothing.
Of course it's not, because they sold it on the TV. Nothing's gonna be worth shit then too.
They're nice.
I felt that when I was a kid.
They're really nice.
Oh, it's gonna be worth a ton of money. No. If you only sell one, it's like anything. And I think that coins are gonna be worth more and more money every year because they are gonna matter less and less. No one uses cash anyways now.
Yeah, but then
on top of that, no one uses change unless you have to have an old machine like my laundry machine that takes quarters. It's the only change I have in my house is a bunch of quarters, and I have to go to a goddamn bank every couple of weeks to get quarters for the shit, because we're in the 21st century. Even if you want to buy a candy bar at a vending machine, they take cards. They take your fucking Google Pay now. It's all about digital. So I think at one point, maybe we're old men, a regular penny might be worth as much as that double-sided Lincoln fuck-up penny, because it'll be so rare.
I agree, but do you really, really think our generation is going to give a flying Peyronie's disease dick about this?
I don't think so. I don't.
So say in 20 years, it's like, oh, it's literally, that movie.
Hey, our generation cares more about Bitcoins than metal coins. Am I right?
They sure do. And about just paying the fucking bills. It's like, oh, hey, I got a real smoking deal. I paid $700 for this fucking penny. That's got, what it's like. I just don't think we're going to give a flying dick.
I think even just keeping things, our generation doesn't care that much about, like sentimental value only. No. The idea of having someone be like, my dad gave me this fan, and it's, I have to, and I might be preaching to the wrong audience here because you keep all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I keep some shit. Yeah.
But it's
not, like, I throw away a lot of fucking
I think that a lot of people our age and younger are not going to be keeping heirlooms of whatever the fuck they think. All our heirlooms are in the cloud, baby. I don't need a photograph of me gone fishing when I was 16 years old. I got it on digital. So I think there's gonna be less and less people collecting things, physical objects, especially when we have to buy smaller and smaller dwellings as inflation rises and the real estate market's out of control. We're not going to be having a mansion full of old antiques that we bought as children that are now antiques for our grandkids. I think it's going to be a lot more virtual when it comes to items like that. What do you think?
No, I agree. I'm definitely a minority on this because like I really like the build quality of old stuff.
There's no doubt it's much better.
Fine wood furniture, American cherry wood. Yeah.
It's just so much better. So you sit and you go, hey, I feel like right now I struggle a little bit with this distortion and this line.
You struggle with testicular torsion.
distortion, not torsion, between the lines of reality and fucking screens, like all of a sudden. But it's like when something is not, if it's all LEDs, all screens, all LED light bulbs, all whatever it is, your phone's an LED, your TV's an LED, your laptop's an LED, your chairs and your couches and your bed and your whatever it is are all made at Wayfair, made in China, and they're all part of this fucking computer process. All of a sudden, it's just all the fucking same. Everything's the same. The lighting's the same. Whatever it is. I like to use the inefficient light bulbs because it makes the world look like it did when I was a kid, and I like touching things that are made by hand in the almost 50 years ago, whatever it is. Like the 50s, the 70s. It's insane. It's not even that old. Like older. Like
half a century ago in the 70s.
Yeah, it's insane, but like nice stuff. Like if someone cared about this, and like our species had this like thing that will never exist anymore. No way. Because okay, cool. Joe, if I want to make you a chair and sell it to you, which I wouldn't do, but if I did, it would be several $100s. If you multiply the price of labor and materials, you're looking at $1,000 for a.
Hey man, you're preaching to the choir, man. I work at a store that sells wooden furniture that they make like that.
Diseased dick furniture, and most people don't care.
Yeah, I think it's the double of those two is that things are going virtual and people are less, willing to hold on to a bunch of junk for 100 years that they don't even use. Plus, all the shit they build now is made to last like 4 or 5 years. So if you add those two things together, you end up with a lot less collectibles, I think. Yeah, unless it's a Bored Ape NFT.
That's right, and fuck NFTs, coming straight from me.
No fucking thanks. You know what I'm saying? NFT.
That's right. No fucking thanks. All right, let's share this bitch again. Give it a fucking rip. Make sure hit share. Good. Great. Good. Great.
Grand. Everybody on the bus.
Thank you for understanding. I missed the second half. Oh, God, that's funny. All right. Felix the fucking cat.
Felix the cat.
Felix the cat.
Oh boy.
That's what we chose here on the Dylan Joe Basin podcast. I don't ever remember in my entire fucking life watching Felix the cat, but liking him.
Is there a chance that you only know him through his iconography and you never actually have watched it?
There's a 1 in 10% chance, like having Pernod's disease, that I like every 1 in 10 men get Pernod's disease. It's the same thing as me actually never watching Felix the cat. I feel like one time I maybe tried to watch it and thought it sucked. Maybe did it? Suck? Yeah, because he's got a good look.
Well, I mean, he looks amazing.
Isn't Betty Boop from that?
Yeah. Well, it's from the same era. That's what I was going to say. Is that Felix the cat? And I had to look up the actual year because I know it's older than shit. He was created in 1919. So you're picturing the oldest version of animation you can picture. The black and white. I mean, this predates or is a colleague of Steamboat Willie, who would go on to be called Mickey Mouse. So this is how old Felix the cat is. So
yeah, but Felix is cooler. We know that.
Well, no, Fritz the cat is the coolest.
Steamboat Willie was like fine, but he was totally kind of lame. Felix the cat is at least kind of bad, Steamboat Willie's not bad.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if you want to talk about Felix for a long time, just besides his design, that's all cool too. But like I said, I put him in with Betty Boop and Steamboat Willie, which is I'm glad that they paved the way for animation, but it's barely anything at all. It's old fashioned black and white booping around weirdness. And it made the way for great animation and comic strips like Garfield the cat, who is the cat. It's not even a contest.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. Oh, yeah, no question. I like Felix the cat because from what I know about him, I like the colors. He seems kind of like industrial, like he's in factories sometimes, and he's kind of just like this cool cat.
I think you're putting a lot of your own ideas into Felix and making him cooler in your head. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing to do.
Well, I think
that Felix probably is lame and boring. I think even Steamboat Willie might even be cooler than him, but he just looks cooler, and you want him to be cooler, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, I have.
And I would also wager that there's a Felix the Cat somewhere in your life as a kid. Maybe someone had a clock, the old clock with the eyes go.
For sure. The clock. Yeah, no question.
Yeah, so I think
dude.
you're conflating all of that and thinking that Felix is cool, and really he's a boring 1920s silent cartoon with music where he maybe gets hit with a frying pan or something that's that Looney
Yeah, I know,
Tunes,
but I've seen him in like a
later.
factory before, and he's like he's weird. He's more like people who smoke cigarettes more, which is 9 out of 10
you
people
thinking the
back in the
Stray
day.
Cats?
No, are like into Felix compared to like Steamboat Willie. I know his theme and whatever it is, but like Steamboat Willie is a little bit more,
Well, he's Mickey Mouse, so yeah, he's much more Mickey Mouse style.
Yeah, exactly. Where
Disney,
Felix the Cat's a
Disney-fied.
lot more of like a Tim Burton vibe, like.
Oh yeah, he's definitely edgier at the time.
And that's what I'm saying, like he's way
cartoons
cooler.
Weren't called cartoons, and they also weren't made for kids. That came later. So yeah, I mean, most older animations are all made for adults. They were played in front of a film you'd see at the cinema, and kids didn't used to go to the cinema until companies realized they could make quadruple the money if they had to bring their kids with them, and then they figured that out real fast.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, Felix the Cat is back in the day where, like I said, it was like Steamboat Willie. It was like before even Bugs Bunny existed. It was like the old fashioned show. They go on and they'd have to spend 20 years animating this 5-minute segment with actual pieces of paper, and they'd have to point a film camera at it, and that would be the movie. And then they had to play sounds later because they couldn't get it to record sound as they did it, so they had to hit a trumpet on the ground or had the little like that shaky thing, and people was like that little swackety shaky block.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he looks cool as fuck, though. I'm not gonna deny that. He looks cooler than any other cat.
Yeah, I'm down with Felix the Cat. I just never really.
I think he's more famous for the clock than anything, if I had to say.
Yeah, that's a good point. Real good point.
We're putting all of our notions on him.
We are, but we'll have to give Felix the Cat a shot sometime soon. So let's share the old screen. Give this thing a spin again. Felix the Cat, pretty cool cat. I think he's the like cigarettes more, a little bit more cool in 1919 than the rest of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone smoked cigarettes in 1919.
I know, but compared to Steamboat Willie, I know he did, but he's a little more positive. Steamboat Willie's a little more dark, fonder.
I mean, Felix is more dark.
Yes, Felix is more dark. So let's spin this thing. Let's see. Communes.
Oh, I actually thought it was commies when it was spinning around the wheel there.
Communes.
Communes.
It's definitely communes. We landed on communes.
Community.
Communism.
Hippies is the first thing I think of, obviously. It's a commune. Hippies.
Yep.
I mean, I don't even think they would call things communes. Like in the zeitgeist before hippies. I mean, most living in humanity that's ever happened was in a commune up until the modern era, and then we started calling those communes. But I think probably until around 3000 4000 BC, humans all lived in communes. That was what it was to be a person. You live in a commune. It was you and a group of folks that you probably knew, maybe 100 200 of you. You gathered food together, you shared stuff, and everybody fucked each other. Am I missing anything?
I don't think so at all. I think it sounds nice.
And you sing songs around the fire at the night time.
Well, you're super social. Like, we know right now a big problem with people is like they're trying to figure out what the fuck is their problem, like what's wrong with them. They're not social enough because they work from home. They don't fucking do anything. They have no friends. They whatever. It's like we're way, if we're not social people, like if we are, we're not as social as we usually are, we're supposed to be.
Yeah, we're
you kind of go nuts because you go inside and all of a sudden you go fucking nuts. So like,
yeah, we're not supposed to be isolated.
Up, we're not supposed to be isolated. So typically when people have problems because they're isolated, they're not getting their needs met or whatever. But like,
that's why it's the most intense version of punishment or torture is to be isolated and go in the hole and total isolation. It's
and down to the fact that it's just not as fucking fun. It's
not like, fun. It's not engaging. Even arguing with people and having a bad time is better for you in your brain and your well-being than being alone. Like even having a negative interaction with somebody is better than having no interaction. It's weird, but it is.
It's so
look at the internet.
Yeah. Well, it's like being angry is 1 bajillion times better than being depressed. And by depressed, I don't mean
you don't
sad.
feel
I mean,
anything.
like,
It's
next
worse
level.
than feeling
Yeah,
something.
feeling something. So all of a sudden you're angry. You're like, you're thinking about, you're into something. All of a sudden, if you don't do that, shit get fucking nuts. So, so communes, I just think of the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when they go to the
up at the old ranch up there, back where our
the old Hollywood
buddy
ranch.
Charlie Manson lives there with Tex
Our
Watson
friend
and all the other
Charlie
ones.
Manson and his
I
old
can't remember
thing
the
and his
ladies'
multiple
names, but
wives,
we know.
and yeah, we don't remember the names, but that's what happened with the communes modern day, not the old day. All day, everyone was aunts, uncles, grandparents, fucking children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, whatever. They took care of each other. Modern day communes are. I'm a man. I am bold enough to start one, and now I have 75 wives, and this is now a problem. So
the amount of
modern
effort
day
is out of
ones, it's
control.
like not great, and they still. The problem is that like it's hard. It's still hard to survive. They have to have something that has a value to modern day society, or else that they'll all die and starve to death. You cannot. There's no way you can live off grid totally and survive, especially if you have 10 plus people there. It's really
I
hard.
mean, one of the modern day ones, like that
problems.
one that's in was in Oregon. Remember that one on Netflix, Wild Wild Country, with the Bhagavan and all those people there. They had Uzis and they took over an entire Pacific Northwest town, and they voted the mayor out and everything. They took over the whole thing.
No,
modern communes get out of whack. They got guns, they got television, they got cameras.
It becomes a cult.
Wacky.
Commune turns to cult very, very quickly.
Yeah,
we all worship our God, and your God is
very, very thin.
It's very, very thin. Now all of a sudden, your God is Joe from the Dylan Joe Basin podcast. He has 70.
You don't want that.
He has 8 wives and about 45 children, and that's what happens. But back in our day, back from our ancestors, this was how it was done. It was done communal neighborhoods of people planting things, growing things, pulling warts off of people, and then you got a guy who's doing cool shit. Then you got it was communal based efforts to keep our species and community alive.
And I can see the appeal of that, because really that is the way we're built to live. We've just we've improved in a lot of ways. We've risen above. We've used our brains to understand that inflicting suffering and mutilation on our fellow man is not the right thing to do, and actually helps out. It's not just the right thing to do morally, as we decided what morality is as humans. It actually helps. Like, the less people are fucking with each other, the more it helps each other work out. And that's the same mentality you'd have to have if it was you and 100 folks, because you couldn't just walk down a city street and punch somebody in the face and run away. You have to live with that guy tomorrow, and he's going to show up at your tent and say, what the fuck was that about? So I think there's a definite clear path between how we used to live and how we live now. And unfortunately, I think that where communes slide a little bit is because we're so grown up and we do live among society as much as you'd like to avoid it. That's the part that taints it. If there's plenty of tribes over the world who have never been in contact with modern society, and they live in communes, as we would say it, and they work out just fine. So it's I don't think communes are a bad idea. It's that the people involved fuck it up, and that's because they were raised in a different world. I think that if you took someone who raised for 50 years in a commune and brought them to New York City, it might go poorly. And you have a 65-year-old man who feels like he's not very powerful or doesn't get what he wants in life, and then he goes to the commune, you also have a problem. So it's kind of like it's whatever you're used to. And we're all built to be used to communes, but none of us really grew up in them.
Yeah, and I something that's possible. So like right now, the people who are like, hey, there's a commune in Texas, and you make a decision like, I'm an adult and I want to live like that. Yeah. Right off the bat, you're a certain type of person, and
right. And also, you're right. It's a self-selected group.
It's self-selected. So you're gonna travel to go to this fucking thing and be a part of this group, and then you all drink the Kool-Aid and go to the new god.
Ride Haley's Comet.
Yes.
I mean, Hale Bopp Comet. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just in today's day, unless you're born and raised on that island with off the coast of Australia where they still kill outsiders.
I love that island.
Yeah, I fucking love them.
Keep it old school, dude. Don't let anyone ruin your shit.
People of the year, they are. Keeping old school is fucking great. So let's give this fucking thing a spin. That's communes. Crazy times. Share this.
Give it a spinneroony there.
Once my mouse does it. Okay. Wow. Ooh.
You're gonna have to read this
Shitty
one for me.
topic.
How's it
The
go?
Heister H190-360 diesel forklift with superb visibility.
All right, it has adjectives. I know it's
Holy
randomly generated.
tomatoes.
It has
So,
adjectives.
What are we looking at here today? We got a forklift?
That cannot be the product number that says superior visibility. There's no fucking way.
That's it right there, man. That's the model. That is
Unreal.
That is the model there.
That is a mouthful.
So
Speaking of
Heister
forks,
makes commercial products with wheels that lift heavy things.
well, that's hysterical.
It is hysterical, and the this particular model number Heister is diesel, so it's bigger, and it requires a certified forklift operator.
God damn, you know so much about this. Just a randomly generated thing.
Renowned as but certified, Joe, you know this. Certified forklift operators are renowned as they get the same respect as fighter pilots.
No.
They do.
There's no fucking way.
They do. So
it's like those rare coins. A dime a dozen is a phrase for a reason, which means that there's about, I don't know, what do you want to say, 1,000 more forklift operators than fighter pilots? I'd say it's closer to 1 million more, but
it could be, but they're certified forklift operators, which means that they're able to sleep with any girl they want. As a if you say, hey, okay, cool, I'm not that interesting at a bar, but I'm a certified forklift operator.
You should see me on a forklift, honey.
Yeah.
With superior visibility, you better see that shit.
This is a diesel powered one, so it's
I'm precise.
I
can lift up a nice fresh egg or a pallet of 2,000 pounds. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, exactly. You could probably open a beer can with this if you're that good. And with a forklift, you could probably crack a beer and also carry a 4,000 pound pallet.
Yeah, it's like making a sandwich with an excavator. It takes talent.
It takes talent, but these certified forklift operators of the United States of America can probably do it, and they deserve recognition, which is why this DJ put that on here. Is that certified?
I feel like the ones
operators.
in China are probably better because they don't get to go home, so they live on the forklift.
That's the forklift life.
Fork life.
So that's a really that's a crazy forklift. Thanks for that on DJ. Let's share the screen again. Let's hit the spin. We're getting close to
we have 4 left now.
Getting through this list.
I think we can hit the rest of the list. We're bang this out.
We can bang this out so quick. All right, let's see what goes.
So what we got here.
Let's see what we got.
You'll spin. Oh, I should have asked you to turn down the volume on the spin earlier. It's insanely louder than how we talk.
It is.
That was my fault, though. I should have mentioned it. Bickfords, we landed on. Bickfords.
Wait, can you hear the spinner?
Oh yeah, it's like, see how on the bottom right next to the full screen button where the volume button is? Wait, not that one. Not that one. The one. There you go.
I can't.
That's all
I've
it
been
does?
I've been making the sound by my mouth. Are you making a joke right now?
I thought you were joking, but the sound by your mouth. Every time you hit it, it goes like super loud. And I'm like, Jesus, loud.
Wait, are you serious? Like, I thought you were making a joke because
I thought you were joking. I'm like, it's loud as fuck.
I hear nothing, dude. I thought.
Are you wearing your headphones? You are, right?
Wow. I thought you were making a joke. I can't hear.
Oh no, it sounds like as loud as the recording stop when it goes dong 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 dong. Because I love the noise. I think it's great, but it's just a little bit too loud. But
I've been making it with my mouth every single time.
And haven't heard
me right now that it's not.
I thought you were fucking with me because it's so clearly. It's insanely loud. It's like it's super loud.
I thought this was a joke because I don't hear anything.
I don't understand why you don't hear, but I do. It's so weird.
That's ridiculous. All right,
it's got a sound thing.
Okay,
maybe it's because it's on your second screen, and I don't know,
dude. Yep. Took me a while to figure that out, but it's definitely because my second screen is a television and it's on 0. Yep, fuck.
It's on. Oh, there we go. We figured it out.
There it is. Okay.
Hey, must
There
be
you
the
go.
money.
All right.
You
Well,
wanna go
now
and take
I
a ride
know
with
I
me?
can probably just do, because it's.
Don't worry, no one's gonna hear the mouth sounds because of how insanely loud the spinning sounds are.
Oh my God. Well, you watch, dude, when you edit this, watch my mouth because you'll see me doing it. And I'm like, wow, he doesn't even comment on how good I did that one. Anyway, so
I never heard it.
Bickfords. So
Bickfords.
Bickfords. God, that was.
Is it a restaurant?
Yes.
That's all I know about it.
You've
Oh,
never.
is
been
it like
there?
shenanigans where there's stuff on the wall?
Yes.
Okay, I know more than one thing about it then. I know two things. That's it.
It's all wood. They
Never
have
been.
the claw. And
Wow, it's so weird. You know everything about every single topic we've had today. It's so weird. It's so
dude.
specific too.
I thought if you live in Massachusetts for your whole life, you'd know what a fucking Bickfords is.
Right, you would think that, but it's so weird how the generator thought that too for you.
Well, I thought that for you. I put in your name and birthday and fucking
Yeah, and it picked Bickfords.
height and weight, and it said fucking Bickfords.
Damn.
You know?
Yeah, no, I had never been to a Bickfords. I like a lot of things in my life. I know kind of what it is, and I never been.
Okay, imagine the Piccadilly pub for breakfast.
Oh, it's a breakfast joint.
It's a breakfast joint. I mean,
Oh,
I'm sure
I didn't know that part of
I'm
it.
sure you can get a burger there if you want for lunch or a BLT.
Right, but a lot of
breakfast.
fucking shenanigans and TGI Fridays. You can't get breakfast there, even though they're similar vibes. So that's something.
Bickfords is
has.
mostly it's like a Denny's, but for Massachusetts.
Oh, isn't it nicer than a Denny's though? Is there plastic tables and stuff, or it's wood, right? They have like tchotchkes on the wall,
Like
or
woody,
or is it like straight up like IHOP, like plastic seat, plastic table?
No.
One picture from like 1980, and it's like that's it.
No. It's like woody tchotchkes. So like
Yeah,
wood,
that's what I'm thinking. So less like Denny's,
green,
and more like
probably green carpet throughout the whole place.
All right,
and
tchotchkes,
and Bickford's was fucking great. And I wish.
Oh, is it still around or no?
I don't know. I have no idea. We used to go to one in like Westboro or Northboro. No, it was like Acton.
It wasn't in Hudson or Marlboro. I'll tell you that.
No, it wasn't. It was like Acton or something. It was like up there. It was fucking good, dude. Miss Bickford's.
Yeah, it seems like they're very much breakfast oriented. They're not open right now.
Wait, but it still exists?
Yeah,
Bickford's is real.
It still exists. We have a couple of them near me. I got well, let's just look up a picture of this. Directions. Google Maps. My location is Providence, Rhode Island. I mean, basement.
The basement.
Yeah, I mean, there's one in looks like Woburn, and I don't know. I can't. That looks like it. Might be another one, but
I guess I'm gonna have to go to Bickford's in Woburn then, because it's.
Oh, there's one in Burlington too.
Ooh, Burlington, Woburn. They're right there. I'm surprised they would put themselves so close.
But the next article is about how a bunch of them have closed, and there used to be one in Providence that is also closed.
Bummer. What a fucking bummer.
Oh, Bickford's. Maybe we'll go to you one day.
Yeah, we'll go to you. It's like,
and I would never choose to, because I could give two shits about breakfast, but I like hanging out with Dylan, and Dylan likes breakfast, so I will go with breakfast.
Yeah, Joe is world renowned for getting bacon and orange juice for breakfast.
Breakfast, I could take it or leave it. Lunch and dinner, now we're talking.
Wow, what a guy.
It blows my mind that out of the 3 meals of the day, people would relinquish lunch or dinner to have more eggs.
Well, it's a little different. I'd rather have breakfast and dinner and skip lunch. That's where I'm at.
That is okay. I thought you said breakfast then dinner. Okay, skip lunch, I understand.
No, I skip lunch. I have breakfast and I skip lunch. Then
I still would never skip
dinner.
lunch because I'm hungry because I haven't eaten breakfast.
There you go. That's why you're a lunch guy. So
yeah.
All right, we got 3 categories
like
left.
A sandwich,
Dylan and
nice
Joe.
little sandwich in the middle of the workday. Break it up. What do you do at work? You just take 20 minutes. You just sit and stare at the window. I mean, the lunch is a great part of work. You're breaking it up. You have a delicious meal. You're like, oh, work sucks, but I have to have a delicious. I'm gonna have a fucking roast beef sandwich, some au jus, dip it in, some French fries, and
fuck yeah, dude, you kidding me?
It break my whole day up. I'm having a shit time. I'm eating a delicious meal. Now I'm back to work. I mean, it sucks to go back to work, but a nice little break in the middle. Imagine having 20 eggs. You drive to work and you suffer through 8 hours, and then you get to go home and hopefully you went to the Sam's Club to get yourself a half gallon of fucking orange juice for dinner or whatever. But for me, I'll never stop thinking of breakfast is the worst one, because whenever I'm waking up, I already have somewhere to be. If I'm awake for breakfast, I need to be somewhere. I don't have time to enjoy it. And that's why the only times I go to breakfast is when I'm like on the weekends with you or somebody. I'm like, oh yeah, I go to breakfast. But I'm never going like, I'm waking up, I have to rush to get a bacon, egg, and cheese at a restaurant before I go to work. If I'm waking up for work, I'm already late. And I you know what I mean?
I hear you. But it's like you're going to Dunks, dude. It's like 3 minutes out of the way. You just go get a bacon, egg, and cheese and a coffee. And you move on.
You wake up an extra half hour early to get a bacon, egg, and cheese and a coffee. Yeah, fuck you. And
it's definitely worth my time. I'm doing it.
Well, good for you for being able to wake up extra early for work just to eat food. I'll never wake up early enough to eat food.
It's so funny. That's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Bigfords. All right, on to the fucking spin.
Hell yeah.
Let's see what goes on with the spin. Now I can't believe I was making the sound the whole time. Whoa.
If there's any doubt about the randomization of this, sandals, Birkenstocks, Tevas, Crocs, or flip-flopsters.
Joe,
will you care to explain what you meant by that when you loaded the spin wheel with shit that you wanted to talk about? Go ahead and explain that one.
Thank you.
It sounds like all shit that you wore either this month or last month on a daily basis.
I appreciate that, but it's insulting.
Maybe not the Tevas, but everything else I can see you wearing, and most of them wearing wool socks that go up to your shins that have pictures of cute characters on them. Am I totally off base?
You're insulting as Peyronie's disease to me. So, one, I don't wear sandals. Two, I don't wear Birkenstocks.
I can see you wearing Birkenstocks though. You don't act like
I'm not a fucking Birkenstock person. I'm an outdoors
I'm not saying
person.
you are a Birkenstock person,
sandals,
but it's not that far. No, I can see you not wearing sandals, but Birkenstocks, I could see you wearing.
If you wear sandals, you can't run from someone trying to kill you. If you wear Birkenstocks, you can't run from trying to kill you. If you wear Crocs,
if you wear any of these things, you cannot. No, even Crocs, you can. Even
if you wear Crocs, you can. If you wear flip-flopsters, which are flip-flops that look like lobsters, you cannot run.
So basically only Crocs, Tevas, even Crocs you can't.
Crocs you can, and Tevas you can. These two right here. Crocs have sport mode.
But aren't
Tevas have
are they pronounced Tevas? I thought they were pronounced Tevas. But aren't they just sandals? Aren't they just sandals though? They're a brand of sandals.
They're Jesus sandals. Tevas.
Let's pull them up. People on the pod who are watching will be able to see the picture.
Wearing Tevas my whole life.
And they're sandals. Yeah, they're sandals.
No.
To me, this is what a sandal is. It's Velcro straps around your ankle and the base of your feet.
Okay, all right. I thought.
So what are sandals then? Because to me, these are sandals.
Like thong fucking things, or
no, those are flip flops. Those are flip flops.
Oh, okay, I said flip flopsters because they're lobsters.
Right, but those are different. Flip flops.
Oh, I should have said flip flops. Birkenstocks, Tevas, Crocs, or flip flopsters.
Yeah. Okay.
Flip flopsters are lobster.
Well, I'm gonna look up flip flopsters next, and we'll put the picture up next. But yeah,
pretty fucking cool.
Tevas, man. As you say, those are what I say are sandals.
Okay,
things that strap around your ankles.
I'm a Tevas person. Okay, I wear Tevas.
Well, I am gonna go Crocs. My whole life, since I was a child, never wearing these again. Ones. Even seeing these Velcro straps on this cushion, I can feel the itchy and the sand on my ankles, and I want to puke. Sandals are the worst version of open-toed shoes. As much as I've shit on Crocs on this show, and I will continue to, because I have dignity.
He's going to continue to shit on them for next
episode. I would rather wear Crocs every day of the week than sandals. I mean, is there a shittier footwear than sandal? I wonder.
I don't know.
Not only is it uncomfortable, but it's unwieldy, and the elements get to you. So it has all the elements of open toe fucked up.
I think that the Homo sapiens have been wearing sandals for thousands of years. So that is our official shoe as a species.
I think I agree with you that for the most part, we've been wearing sandals or nothing.
Yeah. For most
I
of
would
the
say
time.
nothing is the majority.
I'd
and
say
then second
way
place would be
less than
sandals.
1% of 1% of the time we've been wearing anything else besides sandals. In the
Yeah.
modern day sandals, Teva, because it's off-road mode, you know?
Yeah.
But
I'd say that would be ranked on my list the bottom. And I haven't even looked up flip flops.
yeah, but dude, Birkenstocks are for like rich white Crohn's disease guys. Tevas are
well, they started out as Grateful Dead 1960s people going to see a concert, and only because of the modern era. Everything that's hipster used to be poor people, and now it's hipster.
Now it's rich.
So I mean, although I don't wear Birkenstocks either, I thought you might wear them because you like wearing shoes that you can't get jacked up in, and that you might. I just could see you wearing. You are an inch away from wearing Birkenstocks every day of your life.
I know.
Cool.
I know. I do. Know
okay,
this.
so at least you admit that. And I don't think
it's
it's a bad thing.
I thought about buying some recently.
I don't think it would be a bad move for you.
Because I'm strictly Teva guy. Because Teva's I can do anything, and I can kayak in, I can surf in.
They're much. You can be active because you have Velcro
I can go
straps,
hiking in them.
Plastic straps wrapped around your ankles.
They have off-road tread. They're pretty fucking. Well, the ones I do have, they're fucking awesome. Yeah. And I also
they look stupid as fuck.
I know. Dumb. I get called fucking every name under the book every day of my life. And then
that should be stated for this. In this category, everything on this category, you look like a fucking moron if you wear these. Doesn't mean you can't wear them.
That's true. Yeah.
You just look like an idiot if you wear them.
You do, yeah. But Crocs also look terrible, but at least they're so funny that they're funny.
They are funnier. Yeah, the same thing. Even for flip flops, people think they look cool in flip flops. I don't care if you're wearing like the Adidas,
cool,
or people call them the Adidas. They call them slides now because they don't want to call them flip flops because flip flops are so lame. You know what? You're not tricking me, all right? They're still flip flops, and you look stupid in them.
Well, especially if you're a guy with the thong ones, like get out the fuck out of here.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
No way. No way. No. But what you should wear is the dude from The Big Lebowski wears jellies.
Yeah, jellies. Yeah,
the clear jellies. At least that's so much funnier than all of these that it's fucking hilarious.
I mean, it's the funniest of all of them. Excuse me, to be sure, but it is also you look like a fucking dummy.
Yeah, so that's funny.
I'm gonna have to go with what was the list again? We have Birkenstocks,
sandals, Birkenstocks,
flip
lobsters, which are the lobster.
Oh no, I have the picture pulled up
Crocs,
right now. I'm gonna put Tevas and sandals in the same category because in my mind, Tevas is a brand. It's like saying sneakers or Nikes. It's like, well, it's the same thing in my mind. I'm gonna have to go with flip flopsters number one because I'm looking at them right now and they look awesome.
Pretty fucking cool. And I think that you're right.
I think that they probably don't fit as well because they look like they're made just to look nice and they probably don't really fit your foot. They're kind of like a novelty item. They can get them for $20, which means they're basically like a costume, like a Halloween costume, and Halloween costumes never fit well because they're made for everybody. And that's not really how you want there's green flip flopsters. I'm gonna say that's number one. I'm gonna say number two being Birkenstocks, even though I've never worn them. They just seem more like flip flops with extra steps. And then I'll go Crocs and then sandals because I hate sandals so much, and I still would never wear any of these. But that's my order. What about you?
Yeah, no. So my order is going to be Tevas. I'll never break free from the Teva. The chains that I wear in this life that are Tevas. Big Teva fan. Number two is going to be sandals because the same thing. Number three is going to be. 2 or 3 is going to be Crocs because Crocs are fucking good. I did a whole series on wearing Crocs mountain biking when it's super wet and it's been fine. Next up,
I think you picked it as your number one men's fashion too, which was a bold move.
Because it is the most indispensable resource, cheap to make, durability, flexibility.
Yeah.
Able to be dried. It is the perfect shoe.
Classic guy move. Your number one fashion item was all function, no fashion.
All function, no fashion. And then definitely the next on the list is gonna be flip flopsters because it's fucking hilarious. It's like the crustacean menstruation station. It's like this thing I saw. This girl made a corner of their bathroom. This lobster themed tampon and
Oh my God. Well, I
station.
mean, you should have just left it at that because I thought you came up with a really clever thing. You just saw it on Pinterest.
No, they like did this whole wall of crabs and lobsters and called it
That
it
is
was just
Dancing with the Devil,
was
making a
just
whole section based
wall-
on your genitals and crabs.
a wall of tampons that you like for guests to use and stuff called the crustacean menstruation station. So
I
I
like
appreciate that. In number last and never fucking wearing them are flip-flops.
No, Birkenstocks.
Oh fuck. Okay, Birkenstocks then flip-flops. They
Oh,
both,
you'd rather wear Birkenstocks than flip-flops. All right.
yes.
So as long as they have a lobster on them, they beat Birkenstocks.
Birkenstocks I maybe can run in because they have 4 straps. Well, 2 straps.
I think you shouldn't be running in any of these. They're open-toed shoes.
Dude, I
you
run
want to
all
run,
the time.
close
I'm
your
always
toes.
running. I always run. I always need to do things. Sometimes also it's like
I know, but I think for the majority
hike.
of mankind, if you need to run, then don't put on anything where your toenails are sticking out. Put on some goddamn shoes.
Dude, I could run 26.2 miles.
I'm not
in
saying you
heavens.
couldn't do it. I'm saying you shouldn't do it.
I'm not doing it in flip-flops though, or Birkenstocks.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Or flip-flopsters.
Yeah, I'm not saying
Not
that
doing
they're all equally bad at running. I'm saying that they're all bad at running, not equal.
Yeah, but flip-flopsters are funnier. So
I wouldn't
at least
want to
they have
get
that.
chased by a murderer in any of these. I'll tell you that right now.
You would in Tevas, you would be fine, I promise.
I would be getting dirt and rocks and all kinds of shit in my feet. But I'd rather
You
have
wouldn't.
nice closed-toed shoes on, and I'd be
Unless
wearing
you
fucking
know, you will be
sneakers.
fine in Tevas. I wear them every day. But your call, you let me know. I mean, I'll let you know if I get chased by a murderer in my Tevas, and I'll give you a rating. I'd say it's probably at 8.5.
That can't be. It cannot be.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be better than. I mean, I'll think of all the closed-toed shoes in the world, and an 8.5 is Tevas.
Definitely.
You're being biased, and I won't hear it anymore.
No,
I'm done.
no, I have off-road tread.
You're close-minded and biased on Tevas. It's fine. You like them. But being chased by a murderer, you'd pick an open-toed sandal with Velcro straps.
Dude,
you're
the
being murdered.
Spartans, dude, the Spartans wore these, and
They didn't have the Spartans had and one basketball sneakers. They'd wear them instead.
I know, but they
You know what they wear
these
number
and
one? They wear combat boots because they're a war fighter.
They kicked so much fucking ass and curb stomped people.
Because what do you think the other team was wearing?
The
The
same
same
thing.
fucking things. Yeah,
That
of
was
course.
everyone's wearing. This is what we're good
Yeah,
at.
right.
like,
So you just proved my point. Everyone's wearing this shit.
dude,
today.
probably more people have been kicked in the face with sandals than not in the history of man.
completely irrelevant
and
to what I'm saying, but
killed.
yes.
And killed by it. Like all of a sudden it's like, this is Sparta. And the guy fucking kicks him in a fucking sandal.
It's true. I mean, just because of the fact that there's been more sandals worn than everything, you're correct, but it doesn't prove any point that you're saying at all. It's like saying that more
It's
people
just
have
saying.
been in the sun than not in the sun because the sun is in the sky.
Yeah,
Good,
but these
good
guys
point.
walked like 40 miles a day in these fucking things, man.
Yeah,
there's
imagine if they
something
had
to it.
actual foot support, how much farther they could walk.
Yeah, they'd break down immediately. All the fucking and one shoes would just like all the fucking sole would come off.
You really
These
think
shoes-
that those Spartan sandals lasted longer than modern day combat boots in the U.S. military? Now you're
Absolutely.
fucking tripping.
I
Now you're
agree.
tripping.
I think they did. Dude, they were handmade, well made, made of a certain type of leather, and they had to. They had
I
no other
think
option.
you're watching too many movies. You're watching. Too many
No, I'm not
movies.
watching movies, dude. Modern day combat boots are like kind of shitty.
They're like
good, but
$200 for a pair of the fucking things.
They are, but if you had a good sandal, dude, you'd never need them.
That's retarded. All right,
No
moving
one's
on.
saying. No one's saying this. So, all right,
We're
let's
never
share our
gonna
screen.
agree on this.
Let's
fact.
go. Let's fucking go. I say the sandal is the ultimate. All right, share my screen.
If you
Share
work in a
this
kitchen,
one.
you can't wear sandals because there's a knife. Imagine having
You
bullets.
can't. Yeah, you can't, dude. You can't do that.
So
All right.
for some reason, it's safer in a combat situation than in a kitchen when you're making shrimp cocktail.
Well, we'll see. All right, 2 topics left. Look at the spin.
Here we go.
It's probably that one. All right, Joe, you want to read that?
Little white dogs with shit in their eyes.
Little white dogs with shit in their eyes. It won't let me eliminate it. It's fine.
So I'm guessing that remember when it comes down to the last one, you have to keep it for whatever reason.
That.
So yeah, this is very specific because it's we've known a couple of these type of dogs, and by shit you mean some people refer to as eye crusties or eye boogers.
All of a sudden, their whole face under their eyes turns brown and red.
Yeah,
Or
well, here's the
orange.
difference, I think. because all dogs have eye boogers, much like we do. We call it sand in our eyes or eye boogers. We mostly get them out of our way. But dogs that have white fur, it shows up more because it's like a nice white backdrop to show up against. And doubly on that, you're thinking of dogs who don't shed. If you don't shed your fur, then your little eye boogers stick there, and then your tears stain your face more and more over the course of 2, 3, 4 months because you don't shed. So imagine if you cried into your hair every day, how fucking nasty your hair would be. That's what dogs' faces are that we've bred to have no shedding and have cute curly hair and little Ewok faces. And white dogs that shed, they don't have the teardrops under their eyes like they were a beaten child. They just shed it right off. Way it goes.
They sure do. And those typical dogs are usually way more annoying than the rest of the dogs. And all of a sudden they're fucking assholes. And then then all of a sudden they're scared of thunder. But that is the little white dog with shit in their eyes.
They need to be brought to either you, who is a good hair cutter for dogs, or a groomer, because if you don't cut their hair, much like humans, they'll never stop growing. Which I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that all wild dogs shed because they don't have anyone to cut their hair.
I think so. Like
all human bred dogs that are the ones that have the hair that keeps growing forever, because you couldn't survive in the wild
but that's insane. I mean, so like, for example, like Maltese, would be a dog that would be in this category.
Yeah.
They don't shed 50% of the time. They're white. And they do that, but like it's I don't know, it's Japanese. They're Asian dogs.
Mm-hmm.
How on earth do you get bred to be dependent on another species?
Well, because that species is breeding you like that on purpose.
So, but how do you, if it never existed in the first place, how is all of a sudden?
Because when you have a mutation, there was once a dog that couldn't shed. And that dog's fur didn't stop growing. We need to
make this dog. We're gonna breed this dog.
Yeah. It just wouldn't stop shed. It would never shed. It just kept growing its hair. And they go, "Oh, this is great. Look at the beautiful long hair." And they let that dog get a couple nuts off, and then they kept keeping it forever and ever. And then enough dogs were like that. I mean, and we're also misrepresenting the number. Every time we talk about evolution, you forget about the sheer numbers. Probably 1 million dogs with hair that grew died, and then, now 5 million are still alive because they pick them out one by one. And then it's a brutal process. It makes more sense with plants. You're like, oh, this plant has a red flower. This has a purple flower. Let's plant more seeds. But when it comes down to animals, it's much more ruthless to think that you're letting animals die, or you're killing them yourself because you don't have the right genetic properties. But only in the modern day do we treat animals as if they matter. For the last, even longer than we've been wearing sandals, we've been treating animals like they're a property or pieces of meat, and we just kill them off if they don't fit the right bill. And that's how you get, dogs who can go from the Maltese to the Alaskan Malamute or whatever the hell you want.
That's a good point.
You have a pug and you have a Rottweiler. We already went over it. I had a trapdoor about it. They're the same exact animal. Only humans have decided that these genes work, and the ones that have a little slightly longer nose, they throw them in a potato sack and they throw them in the river. It's not pretty.
It's not pretty. Goddamn. All right, you ready for spin this thing? So
sure am. I just gotta plug my laptop thing so it's about to die.
Yeah, sounds good. You want to take a quick commercial break before we do our last and final thoughts?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, all right.
Back door, which good luck, Ferrari. You don't even have a back seat, you bitch.
Fucking bitch ass bitch. So
yeah, dude.
Fuck yeah. All right, we got one topic left. Let's see where we go with this. We are recording. Joe's got the fucking bells. Here we fucking go. We're gonna spin it. Let's see what we get, Joe.
All right, let's see what we got here. We got 2 left, and we already picked one, and we can't see it, but that's all right. We know the last one.
It picked little white dogs with shit in their eyes. What do you have to say about that, Joe?
All right, well, don't worry, we can't see it, so maybe it picked Bong Joon-ho.
Because I didn't hit share screen. Yeah. So let's share the screen real quick.
All right, let's spin the wheel
again. Okay.
It's between little white dogs with shit in their eyes and Bong Joon-ho.
I hope it's Bong Joon-ho.
Bong Joon-ho, I think.
Bong Joon-ho. My first thought is that his first name is Bong. What do you think of that?
And his last name is Ho, which is also
Bong
hilarious.
Ho. That's funny.
And in the middle, it's June spelled Joon, which is hilarious too.
Yeah. So Bong Joon-ho is a Korean filmmaker. Joe, do you know what he has made? Because he's one of the best out there.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad because when I originally saw this spinning around the wheel, I wasn't clocking it because I was trying to be fair and whatever it lands on. But I saw that I'm like, it sounds like some kind of. I was thinking of like
some kind of bong.
Well, I was thinking of that. I was thinking of other Asian leaders, and I was like, who is that one? I was thinking of I was thinking of Ho Chi Minh. I was thinking of Mao Zedong, and then I realized, Bong Joon-ho is one of the best directors ever because I've only seen 2 of his movies.
Me too. I've only seen 2. What have you seen?
And it's probably the same ones that I've seen then because I haven't seen Okja. And I loved them. And the first one I saw, I didn't know who he was, and I still didn't know who he was until I saw the second movie, probably 6 years later. And it was this movie. It was not widely released. People didn't really talk about it, but it was earlier on the internet. They're like, you got to watch this movie. It looks like a B sci-fi movie like Sharknado, but it's not. Just watch it. It's amazing. Ooh. It was a movie called Snowpiercer. Have you seen that movie?
That's what I've been told to watch, but I have not seen Snowpiercer.
I thought for sure that was going to be one. I thought, if anything, you'd only seen that one.
Nope.
Okay, well, my mistake. But yeah, Snowpiercer is the first movie I ever saw by him, and I didn't know that it was him. I didn't know it was a Korean director. I knew nothing about it.
It's in English, and it's got a white guy in it who's the main character, right? I know about it.
The entire thing is in English. And there's a couple of Asian people in the movie, but it's mostly all whiteies. And they're on a train, and it's the end of the world, and it's frozen over. And if the train stops moving, then everyone dies. And there's like a caste system. I won't say more about it, but it's amazing.
No. It's interesting. I don't think you can spoil it because
if you watch the trailer for it, it looks kind of stupid. It's like, okay, because it looks like, hey, I'm a tough guy. I'm gonna be on a train. Hey, I'm gonna fight people. It's not only is it better than that, it's not what you're expecting, and you're gonna fucking love it. Snowpiercer. I
can't wait to watch it.
Cannot recommend it
because that's what turned me off was the trailer. I was like, maybe I'll watch it. The
trailer looks like a little garbage.
Yeah, it looks a little too weird sci-fi apocalyptic train. Like it's like
whatever,
the world's ending, but it's a train. It's
wow.
Yeah. Okay, how's the train work? Yeah.
Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's so. I mean. And it's coming from me, the cynical asshole about movies. I had the exact same attitude as you. I go, I don't know. I'm not going to watch that piece of shit. And then I finally watched it, and I was like, well, this is twice as good because of how bad I thought it was going to be. Not only is it good, it's a legitimately great film that happens to look like shit in the trailer. I was like, it's amazing.
I can't wait, dude.
And no wonder people liked it because, I mean, not to sandbag the rest of your pick here, which I want you to say what you've seen by him, but he goes on to win the Oscar for not just best foreign film, best film of the year
for Snowpiercer.
No, for another film that he made.
Well, I know that. Yeah, I know where we're going here. This is
but that's what I'm saying. He goes from a weird sci-fi idea that ends up being great to literally winning the Oscar on the same stage as like fucking Silence of the Lambs or Forrest Gump.
It's exactly the same stage and there's no way, shape, or form that it's not on the same category. It's absolutely good. And that
so film, can you, before you say that one, can you say the other one you saw by him? Because I thought it was for sure Snowpiercer.
No, it wasn't. It was called Memories of Murder.
Memories of Murder, and I haven't heard of that one.
And it is.
I only heard of Okja.
It's about a sort of small industrial.
Better be about a murder.
It is. It's about a small industrial town that keeps having these, like, in Korea, outside of Seoul, like it's like north of Seoul by like a good amount.
And obviously we're talking about South Korea because he's a filmmaker,
yes,
which you're not allowed to do in North Korea. Obviously.
Correct. And they've got all these kind of identical but weird murders, and their cops are complete idiots. Like they're overly aggressive, and they it's just it's so in depth. So anyway, so this young cop comes up from Seoul to try to, it's a young detective comes up to try to investigate these murders. And
don't give the whole thing because I do.
I'm not at all. But I'm not at all.
So
but it's like it's funny because it's not funny. But the way that they are is there's no American film or any other Formula One scene that can have the level of
No, I hear you saying that because
the
movie we're
Bong
gonna talk about
Joon-ho
next is definitely
funniness.
like that. Yeah,
he has this level of funny to him.
It's kind of dark and like strange humor, but it's legitimately hilarious.
It's dark, strange humor that's legitimately hilarious, like you said, that you cannot even put a finger on. Like,
it's unique.
I can give you examples, but it would make no sense. That's how I feel about
you just gotta
this
watch
movie.
It for yourself.
You have to watch for yourself.
And I'm gonna watch it for myself.
Memories of Murder is
Memories of Murder. Yeah.
Every second. It's an amazing movie. And
yeah.
and again, we'll talk about it after you watch it, but it leaves you with some questions and
yeah, no, for sure.
It's a true story.
A true story on top of all that. Wow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's a true story.
And next up, we have his magnum opus as of now.
This is the one.
It's not based on a true story, but it might as well be. And we're talking about Parasite, of course.
We're talking about Parasite. Yeah.
It won the Oscar for Best Picture.
And it
won Best Foreign Film, obviously. But that's like when Beyonce won Best Female Video and Best Video of the Year. It's like, well, why even say female then? It's just the best one.
Yeah.
It's not the best foreign film. It's just the best film of the year. And I loved it. And a lot of people who I know won't watch it because they have to read the subtitles. And those same people love Squid Game dubbed. And I'm like, oh, good. You love Squid Game dubbed. First of all, don't do it to yourself. Why would you? And second of all, welcome to watching films that aren't made in America. They're pretty good, right? Parasite is a great example.
Very, 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 very good. And I have a whole list of movies with subtitles that are unbelievably good.
Yeah, we're missing out on so
sometimes
much.
I'm not in the mood for that either.
People say it's reading, but it's not reading. You're watching the movie, but you look down if you want to know what they're going to say. It's fine.
Yeah, and another thing too is like unrelated, but like I watched Nosferatu last year before we did our vampires episode.
Right, we talked about it.
And that's a silent movie with, it's like reading a book. Only obviously that's a harder sell, but I hear what you're saying. No, it's not
subtitles.
It is, but just if you are out there and you listen to this and you haven't done this, just give it a shot. Like even Nosferatu from like 1920 or whatever it's from, it's silent, but it's like once upon a time. You read everything.
Oh no, they do a good job.
I saw that movie and I almost have
it's a hard
100% recollection of not remembering that it was even silent, because sometimes
it's in your head.
At my age, a lot of times I need subtitles and it's in English because
that will never be me. I don't need subtitles if it's English. And people who watch stand-up comedy with subtitles on should deserve not to watch.
No, I know, but sometimes the way that they do the audio recording on some things,
I get it. It's easier to read it, but
no, I just can't fucking hear anything. I'm like, what are they? I miss really important things. I hate,
but I don't want to get in my diatribe about subtitles. But if you can get past that, Parasite is an amazing film.
Should get past that. Just give it, swallow your fucking breath, and
actually, I don't even want to talk about it because I went into it blind, which I've only done for like a handful of movies ever, and almost always I love them.
Blind is the way to
maybe
go.
Blind. It's like, okay, you're gonna like it more than not because you don't have any negative expectations. But I mean, this movie starts out as, like Dylan said, that kind of like dark comedy that's legitimately hilarious and turns into some crazy like esoteric horror commentary, still dark humor, but actually a thriller. I mean, the thing's crazy off the walls.
So like just all I have to say is that like it was, everyone's like, oh, there's this new Korean horror movie and it's whatever it is. And I'm like, I'm good. I've seen The Ring. I've seen like, all these other,
which are all Japanese horror movies.
I know, but you just think that it's going to be something like that. It's not a horror movie.
I didn't know that
any way, shape or form, like you think it is. It's not that all. It's like, this is.
If anything, it is more thriller, but like I said, the first half of the movie, I've never seen a movie be that good and shift tone that dramatically. Usually it's either a comedy and it shifts tones to be weird, or it's like an indie film. You're like, oh, I didn't know it's gonna go this way. This thing is like a AAA movie that has one half and the second half. They're connected and they make a beautiful picture, but they're not the same vibe at all. Like it doesn't feel like the same movie. 5 minutes in and 5 minutes before it's done, you could have tricked me it was two different movies if I wasn't so sure they tied together so well.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that. And it's amazing, as most has an incredible message, and that makes you think. And just again, don't watch a trailer, don't listen to fucking us, don't go on Reddit, Fucking
No,
nothing.
we're not doing it.
If you are looking for a movie to watch that is meaningful, which
I promise you,
always,
you will feel something.
Looking for something meaningful that allows you to feel something no matter what your fucking deal is, your day, your fucking boyfriend, your girlfriend, both, your fucking mom, whatever's your problem, just watch this movie.
Yeah. If nothing else, I promise you've never seen anything like this before.
Yeah.
Maybe you love it, maybe you hate it, but it's for sure unique. It's not just another movie of the week pumped out again and again.
And I've never seen something like, I don't know. I mean, no one ever said that they go, damn, there's, again, like Joe said, nothing ever in this way. And it is not there. You cannot possibly use your human brain to even predict or think about what it's going to be. You can't. Even if you watch a trailer, you won't even know.
No, don't watch the trailer. Yeah, it's not worth it. It's fine.
It's not worth it. Just watch it. If you want something meaningful, which I'm so tired of watching a bunch of bullshit, which is why I have a whole list of movies that have been meaningful and good and make you think. This is one of them. It's really good. And it's not going to leave you with your, like fucked up, like what happened? It's like, no, it's comprehensible.
No, you'll get the message.
You'll get it.
It's not, I mean, as much as it is like a message sewn throughout, which is masterful, it's not subversive. It's like, it's right in your face. It's like, you see what I'm talking about here? Mm-hmm. I'm speaking to you in Korean. Don't you understand me? No, like it's, like you said, Dylan, you won't be like, what does it mean? Like, what's the ending mean? Like, no, you'll get the meaning. You'll get it.
You'll get it. So
you can interpret it in different ways, but you get what he's talking about.
Exactly. So that was a nice ending to The Wheel. Bong Joon-ho deserves all of it. I've seen 2 movies. Me and Joe combined have seen 3, and they've all been incredible and have a sense of humor that is like that smart sense of humor that doesn't need to be like have to say LOL at the end of a text message. To have people think
it's letting your audience have some faith in your audience.
It's just working on the general wavelength of most people that I get, and this movie is got a very interesting sense of humor to it. So cheers to Bong Joon-ho.
That's The Wheel. We completed it again. We did it.
Fucking God that he comes out with another movie soon. There we go, Joe. Bring the bells. Let's do the bell. That's another episode of The Wheel, and this is July's finest.
July's finest wheel, you understand?
Finest wheel. And I bet in the entire world, we are
you can't get finest.
July 2022's finest wheel. No one else is saying this. No one else is saying it.
And a basement's finest podcast.
Basement's finest podcast. Possibly with a new basement studio coming out soon, thanks to all of you guys. And we're excited. So, Joe, this was episode 59, right?
59. That's 59. Correct.
You guys will be fucking blown away by episode 60.
You know what that means? We're on another 10.
Another 10, top 10, probably no spoilers, but hot guests. Number 10 sort of becomes a thing. We'll see you guys as soon as we can.
All right, now time to do final thoughts.
Thoughts, Joe. You go first, my friend. No, final thoughts.
The podcast is over. We'll see you next week. I just have to do final thoughts so I can throw it in there.
It's the Dylan Joe Basement July's Finest Wheel podcast.
It can't be more wonderful, folks. We love you at the wheel. Get happening in the game show in the basement. It's the best. It's the July's finest. Dylan, send the folks home. What are they going home with tonight? They're gonna win a prize.
They're going home with 2 man, 1 wheel, 1 basement podcast. You're going home tonight with a bunch of random facts about Bong Joon-ho, famous South Korean director, little white dogs with shit in their eyes, and maybe a pair of flip-flopsters. We'll see you guys next week for episode 60 on the Dylan Joe Basement Podcast.
And Costco, I consider the Pepsi of BJ's.
Costco is the Pepsi of BJ's. No, my dick's curved, and they told
me. No. You go. I have Peyronie's disease.
Oh, yes,
you make it sound like a professional.
No.
I suffer.
I'm suffering from Peyronie's disease.
I'm suffering from chronic Peyronie's disease.
No, is has the same energy that keeps them moving that no one can identify that powers human beings as well.
It's called horsepower. That's kind of
It's called
embarrassing.
horsepower. Yeah, it's funny. Nice joke. Who has scoliosis?
That's what you call it? Scoliosis?
Scoliosis, yeah.
I thought it was scoliosis.
You know what, dude? I'm not. I didn't go to that type of college, so I don't know.
You're such a fucking bullshitter. Every time I didn't go to college, so I don't know. I pick it up. I pick it up as I go. I didn't go to a medical school either. I don't know.
I didn't go
Maybe
to that
it is
type of college.
scoliosis. I don't fucking know.
What did I say? I like to
feeling
use the inefficient light bulbs because it makes the world look like it did when I was a kid, and I like.
So deeper.
I like touching things.
Quick jingle from Bill Burr's podcast. MeUndies, no more sweaty balls, but oh, I mean, they didn't tell him to say that.
Like, I thought you were making a joke because
I thought you were joking. I'm like, it's loud as fuck.
I hear nothing.
But everything else I can see you wearing, and most of them wearing wool socks that go up to your shins that have pictures of cute characters on them. Am I totally
You're
off base?
insulting as Peyronie's disease to me.